All right, guys, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome if you are new. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and waiting patiently for the intro to finish up. I see that Gaming Survivor, he had to return. He was ready for his eternal sleep. He has such a way with words. He was ready for his eternal sleep, but then he saw Xbox Game Pass was collapsing right before his very eyes. He couldn't retire yet. Corey, what's up, man? Miku fan says Fruit Ninja Phil. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Yotei today. Yotei, Wokei, whatever. You know, we got Ghost of Yotei. It's launch day. I think some people have already started playing it. I should check out a new video. Why is every PlayStation story the same? What? Yo, that IGN video straight up sounds like rage bait. It sounds like rage bait. Masochist Mode, you're saying the Yotei intro feels a bit rushed. Interesting. I've heard pretty good things about it, but not everybody feels as though it's as good as Tsushima's. I haven't played it yet. I know, right? Gaming Survivor? Right? Yo, I saw like GameStop and Gamefly and all these other gaming companies dunking on Xbox yesterday. I saw some crazy stuff. We told the Xbots, but their pride cometh before the fall. It's crazy, man. Game feels good, Masochist. Boss, your ears are cold, man. I like the feeling of cold cat ears. I don't know why. It's like I don't know. I just have like this compulsion to touch their ears, to feel the coldness. I'm warming you up, boy. It's actually kind of chilly out today. It's nice. I do like it. Oh, sorry. Michael Lynch with a $5 super chat says, you should take that ? Oh, hold on. Wait. You should take that ? At the end of the video off the title. I was reading that in a really stupid way. Will do, Michael. Will do, because it is true. It's simply true. Thank you for the super chat, Michael. And yeah, thank you for keeping me on my toes there. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Like we'll talk about Yotei, of course. The bulk of today will be about Yotei. I'm assuming more people are gonna file in and talk about their experience so far. But dude, I'm already seeing the usual suspects. How can we make this about PlayStation fanboys? And it's like, okay. Like it's the absolute proof. It is the absolute proof that it was never about anything other than how can we just clown on PlayStation fans and fanboys, you know? But it is what it is, I suppose. It is what it is. If people are calling me out on Twitter because they're like, you folded. I thought you were boycotting MBG. And I'm like, brother, like, listen. It's not my problem. Like, it's not my fault you don't watch my content, you know? Like, I can't control what you watch. I've made it like you know what I mean? It's just, I guess it's to be expected. I'm not like thrown off by it. But people just kind of come at me and I'm like, dude, you're late to the party, bro. You know, you're late to the party. I don't know what to tell you. I try to be polite as I can. I'm like, go to my channel. Like, go watch my content. All the questions you have, all the things you're coming at me with, like, just go watch my channel. And I know it's hard. And, you know, this is why, like, you know, when people just pick and choose what they want to show, it does a disservice to those people. Because they see that one thing and they're like, oh, well, there we go. That encapsulates the entire 3 hours. It's like, no, it really doesn't. You've missed probably some really important stuff there. But, you know, what are you going to do? Microsoft's true characters have greed, and it has become undeniable now. Yeah, I had to change my title a little bit for yesterday's stream because we did spend the overwhelming majority of that stream talking about Xbox, and I think I titled it something like, like Xbox fans are beginning to realize that Microsoft is not as pro-consumer as they thought, and I think that's true. I think that's true. I think it is true what you're saying, where it's like people are starting to realize, like, yeah, they're a greedy corporation as well, man. Always have been. Always have been. Michael Lynch with another $5 chat. He says, they can clown on us all they want. The reality is they get mostly mediocre games and we get mostly great games. Boom. Boom. Yeah, right? Like, dude, I was having this conversation yesterday. That's pretty much what it boils down to, man. That's pretty much what it boils down to. I'm not trying to take everything away from Xbox. I know some people will, but there's some good stuff they do. And, I don't think it's a problem if people want to support it and enjoy it. It's not a problem, but it's just like, yeah, man, Xbox is still mostly mediocre, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell people. I'm sorry. I didn't make it this way. Unintended Studios, yes. Yes, they did. Yeah, so guys, we're going to be talking about Ghost of Yotei today. It's release day. It's out. Some of you have already probably started playing it. Some of you are probably playing it now. Who knows? Some of you might be playing it while you're listening to this. I want to encourage anybody who started playing it to give your thoughts, your initial impressions. But we're just going to be chatting about Ghost of Yotei. We're also going to be talking about how Sony is planning to wind down PS4 support starting spring next year. Oh, God. Hold on. I forgot to let Luna in. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking, more about, the PlayStation Plus as well as the Gamepass situation. I actually have this article that just popped up where it says Microsoft tries to defend Xbox Gamepass price increase, which, yeah, that's kind of crazy. So yeah, and we'll just be chatting for a while about these different topics. Chris, you're going to be skipping Yotei for now. You're going to get Metal Gear Solid Delta. Not a bad choice. Yeah, I mean, Yotei isn't going anywhere. I highly recommend Delta. It's a fantastic game. At this point, when it comes to Delta, I'm just waiting for the multiplayer. The multiplayer for it is coming out at the end of this month, October 30th. So it's a while from now, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. Saying they desecrated Halo. Damn. After what happened at Xbox, will they finally take action and fire Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond? No, this is Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond are absolutely on board with this, man. They're, they've become almost like figureheads, I think. Like, they don't really have much control. You know what I mean? They just kind of fall in line and they're going to do the bidding, I guess you could say, of, the board of Microsoft, the higher ups, the CEO, the CFO. They're going to do their bidding. Unholy Mayhem says Ghost of Yotei is absolutely amazing so far. Good stuff, man. It's good to hear. Yeah. I'm curious to see just how good the game looks, because apparently this day one patch cleans it up quite a bit visually. Damn tarnished. Gaming Survivor is saying the fall of Halo was the fall of Xbox. Halo was the soul of Xbox. Without it, they slowly deteriorated into a rotting husk. A rotting husk. It's over when most of the propaganda Xbox guys cannot spin it. Yeah. Well, something I was observing yesterday that I guess it's not that it's surprising, but it's like holy shit. It's difficult to tell how much of it is overblown, but dude, I think Microsoft did immense damage yesterday. Like I'm not saying they weren't anticipating it, but it's bad. It's real bad. Like I've seen the amount of people that I've seen, and what's most intriguing to me is people who are like, I've been on Game Pass this whole time, and they're like, I'm done. Like I'm out. I'm like, God damn, dude. The amount of people I saw unsubbing and posting pictures of them unsubbing. Um, I mean, geez, I don't know. I think the only people who probably won in this regard are people who like stacked their ultimate subscription like for years or something. Yeah, the website was crashing. It was crazy. It was crazy. Bro, I'm here to roast them. Gamepass, the last bastion of hope for them, has been snuffed out. Well, Gaming Survivor, I don't know if you were able to catch yesterday's stream or not. When you're done here, you should definitely check that one out because I had some things to say. This article, though, this is an interesting one. Let's see. It says, a day after Microsoft announced a 50% price increase for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, the company is attempting to defend the decision while saying that it understands the frustration from players. While speaking with The Verge, Microsoft's director of gaming and platform communications, Dustin Blackwell, never heard of this person, spoke about the move and said it's something they didn't, quote, take lightly as a company. Here's the full quote. We understand price increases are never fun for anybody, but we're trying to reinforce by adding more value to these plans as well. It's something we don't take lightly, and we're listening to the feedback of players in the community to try to provide them with more of what they're asking for. Blackwell also spoke about what the service is now providing players across its multiple tiers. Blackwell touted the increase to the game library, cloud gaming, and day one releases. Quote, we're now also giving access to more than 75 day one releases each year. That's a 50% increase over the day one titles we provided last year. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're going to try to go with the number, 75 games, 50% increase of games. I mean, I guess that's kind of significant if that's true, but the question is like what games? You know what I'm saying? Like the question is what games? Because if you say we're going to give you 50%, we're going to give you a 50% increase for the day one games, but like almost all of them are games that are like, what is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, bro, like these aren't the type of games I'm interested in or looking for. Yeah, if that's what they're planning on doing, then I don't think that's going to help the situation. PlayStation has started allowing incomplete games on PS5 discs now as well. Gothmog, are you talking about Ghost of Yotei? Because I know that the day one patch is, it's quite a significant one, but my understanding is that the game is completely playable from start to finish with no like game breaking bugs on disc. That's my understanding. The patch cleans up a couple of bugs and a couple of issues, but nothing that could realistically, I think, like ruin anybody's experience. Yeah. I mean, there are definitely third parties though. When it comes to third party physical games, we see how they're just like, yeah, bro. We put like 10% of the game on the disc or less. There's like nothing on the disc. You found a new love for old retro point and click games. There's so many great games out there to discover. Interesting. Retro point and click. The consumer market trails months after business strategy. Microsoft is wholly focused on AI now. Gaming is just a revenue source to fund their AI ambitions. Time to squeeze the Xbox. Yeah. I'm kind of really glad that Sony's not too involved with AI on that level because, like, dude, it's looking very dystopian with what's going on with the AI and the AI data centers and the race to the top, whatever that is, whatever that looks like, with all these huge corporations just throwing everything at it, man. You know, dumping all of the money into it. I don't know. Like AI is, I think AI is just going to be like anything else. It can be good and it can be bad. And God, I see so much trash, dude. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's weird to see. We have JC Clips with a $5 super chat. Thank you for that, buddy. He says it's the modern day Sega channel from the 90s. If anyone remembers, people didn't want to pay, and a few short years later, Sega pulls the plug on Dreamcast. Yeah, I find what's happening with Xbox very fascinating for many reasons, but talking about the comparison to Sega, we know that Xbox has a console coming, you know, or a console. They have hardware coming, and they made it clear that they're working with AMD, but they haven't really said much about it. And everything that we've heard from insiders and from the rumors and even from the leaked APU, we know what the APU of the next Xbox is going to be. It seems like this is just not really actually going to be a console in the way that people think of a console. It seems like it's going to be a PC. It's going to be a Windows PC. That seems to be what it actually is going to turn out like. And I don't even think that that's going to be the part that matters, to be honest, as much. I think the part that's going to matter, and I really, now more than ever, especially after yesterday's news, I believe this wholeheartedly. And it's kind of like a prediction I'm going to make. I think what's going to matter, and when I use the term matter, I should elaborate because it's kind of an oxymoron where it's actually going to reveal just how irrelevant Xbox hardware truly is and how much it actually doesn't matter. I think it's not going to be the fact that Xbox's next hardware is going to be a PC. I think it's going to be the fact that they're going to make it so in your face clear that this is a very expensive device that we don't care if we just sell 2 million and you're going to order it right through us. It's going to be premium, but it's going to be it's going to really be premium. You know what I mean? It's going to go beyond what the PlayStation 5 Pro is. And in them doing that, it's going to very clearly communicate. I've been following Microsoft for many, many years. This is what they do. They're going to try to serve their very small audience for as long as they can, and it's going to get less and less over time until they're just kind of done. This is exactly what happened with Windows Phone. We're seeing that play out again. If people want to know what the future of Xbox actually looks like, just look at what happened with Windows Phone. Microsoft realized that they're not going to win the market. Now, I think, to be fair, Microsoft, I think, never got beyond 3% market share with the Windows Phone, but they were aggressive as all hell, and nothing they did worked in the end. And they still kept trying to put out these really, really premium Windows Phone devices that were super expensive, had the latest cutting edge hardware. And, there was a very, very small group of people that were willing to pay for that and support that, but it wasn't enough. It was dwindling more and more. And eventually they pulled the plug on it. They're like, we're not making phones anymore. And the Windows Phone OS is done. We're just going to start supporting Android phones. We're going to support iOS, and we're going to put all of our apps. What does that sound like to you? What does that sound like to you? That's exactly what's happening right now. And it's worth noting that whole Windows Phone thing, that happened under Satya Nadella. So this is part of Satya Nadella's playbook. And Game Pass, yeah, I do think Game Pass will still be around for a long time, but I think Game Pass is going to be more focused on less about future growth and higher subscriber numbers and just about higher profit margins. So yeah, I think that's pretty much where it's headed. And I think when we see this next Xbox device, you know, it's not going to matter that like, oh, I could play Spider-Man 2 on it, because it's like, yeah, that's a PC, buddy. It's going to, like, you see, I'll put it to you this way. Do you see how people are reacting to the Xbox Ally X right now? That's what you're going to see for this next Xbox console. You're going to see the exact same reaction where it's like, this is a, you know, True Witty, you're saying with the $2 chat, just so you know, MBG PS Premium also has Ubisoft Plus. I actually didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't pay too close attention to these higher end sub services. What I think about the EA takeover, I mean, I think it has. I think it's not going to result in good things, to be honest. I mean, I don't want to be like too dour about it, but massive acquisitions like this, and I mean, you already see they're talking about how they're going to leverage AI. They're going to double down on like bigger stuff, bigger projects, live service. It's like, well, that kind of sucks. I'm sorry, I gotta get. By the way, guys, if you want to help support the channel, some of you guys have been dropping super chats. I appreciate that, but you can consider becoming a channel member. You can drop membership gifts. We're gonna go for a goal of 25, maybe 50, if we can hit that. And you can drop super chats, direct donations. I rely on you guys to be able to do this. You guys fund the channel directly. We keep it sponsor free. So thank you to everybody who supports. I do appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting that like button, by the way. We're sitting at 50 likes, actually. We could easily bump that up, I think, to 75. And as I'm saying that, we got Metal Gear Ray. Metal Gear Ray comes in and drops the first 5 membership gifts of the day. Ray.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
You are pretty good, Ray. Thank you, buddy. I will add that to the goal, and Boss is already over here. Boss, bro, oh my God. I purposely tried to like not get overly hyped about that 5 bomb because like I was trying to avoid Boss coming over. It's not time yet. Waiting for the raid sponsor. Raid Shadow Legends. Oh man. Oh, I'll tell you what, if I have to do a Raid Shadow Legends, ad roll, you know things are not good. I'm down bad, bro. I'm down bad if that's where we end up. Hopefully not. Where is my member? Oh, here we go. So Ray dropped the first 5 for you guys. We'll see if you guys want to keep that going. Corey says he'd help, but it won't let him. Is it YouTube that's not letting you, Corey? Shems was having a problem. He was able to get that sorted out. I don't know if it's YouTube or something outside on your end. Boss is missing you, Corey. He's trying, boss. It's not his fault. He's trying. It's not that he doesn't want you to have treats. He's not in control right now of what's going on. Piper, you're saying, bro, you just sound like a Microsoft hater. That's all. At the end of the day, Xbox is going nowhere. I mean, I think I think the word hate is too strong. I don't like hate Xbox. I maybe I used to, but I don't have feelings that strongly anymore for Xbox. You're welcome, Corey. Yeah, I let him know for you. I used to really kind of, I guess, hate Xbox, but at this point, it's just more like, and it's not even that I hated the brand. It's just I hated the decisions. I hated the direction they were going in. But I've just accepted that, this is their fate at this point. You're right. The brand is not going anywhere. Microsoft will do what they've always done. They'll do what they did. Again, they'll take the same playbook out of Windows Phone. It'll probably last a lot longer, though, because they have much greater market share than they did with Windows Phone, where they'll support it for as long as they can, and they'll try to serve those people and those players that are still going to stick around. But they're going to make sure that it's known, like, we're going to have to make money off of you, and we're not going to hide that fact anymore. And our main source of income and, for gaming is going to be publishing on other platforms and other places. And so in that sense, Xbox definitely isn't going anywhere. But, I think the bubble has finally burst. Like, Piper, I don't know if you're one of those. I don't know if you're included with the group of people that I'm highlighting right now, but I just think that there's been a group of fanboys that they were pretty much deluded, where like they didn't realize that, bro, Microsoft, they're not really interested in saving you money and giving you a great, like, you're going to find out eventually that like they're just like everybody else in the sense that it's business first, it's bottom line thinking, because they're running a business, and I think there's just been a very loud, vocal, and frankly obnoxious group of individuals. And I'm sure as I'm saying this, there are certain accounts, certain influencers, certain people that are immediately popping in your mind, and chances are they're part of what I'm talking about. What? Okay, hold on. There's like this big ass truck stopping in front of my window. What is going on? Hold on. I think Microsoft's they're after me, bro. Yo, there's like an 18 wheeler, like a tractor trailer out there, bro, and it's got Xbox on the side of it. What's going on? What's going on? They're here to buy my channel. It's the Trojan horse. Yeah, Piper wasn't playing, man. Piper was trying to warn me. He's like, Xbox ain't going nowhere, son. Fucking 18 wheeler pulls up. But yeah, man, I think you guys know what I'm talking about, where it's like there's just been a really obnoxious group of people that the reason why they've come off as so annoying and so bothersome is because of how aggressive they've been. And that aggression and that earnestness pretty much comes from that overconfidence. And that overconfidence is tethered to their belief in that Microsoft won't do things like this. They're better. This is why they're better, And I've tried to explain to them in the past that, like, dude, Microsoft is leveraging a $1 subscription deal, a $10 a month subscription deal, you can get all of our games day one, even though that makes no financial sense for us, deal, to make up for all of the other things that they've gotten wrong. And for a lot of people, it won them over. And it's kind of speaks to what Gaming Survivor is saying, where it's like it's the final pillar in a sense that's kind of been reduced or, shaken, where it's like, so that like one thing that no matter what we could continue to bank on as like, well, at least they still do this. Because I saw that when Microsoft increased the price of the consoles for the second time, dude. When I saw that, I was like, I wonder what the reactions are going to be. And a lot of these people are like, well, at least we still got Game Pass, bro. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. They haven't touched that yet. They haven't done anything that. And then now you see. And the Cape Crusader, a member for 42 months. Thank you for that support, buddy. Saying, can't wait to play Ghost of Yotei when I get home from work. Conflicted on if I should play in English or Japanese. How are y'all going to play? Guys, are you playing, for those who are going to play Ghost of Yotei, are you going to play in English or Japanese. That is a tough choice. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I feel like playing it in Japanese is more authentic, but I am used to obviously English. So I don't know. Maybe I'll switch back and forth and see which one I prefer. But I think if you're choosing Japanese, you can't go wrong. Novinzer says he's playing in Japanese. Okay. Mr. Clutch, Japanese. Spartan says English first, then Japanese on the second patrol. Interesting. Yo, who's gonna be the psycho that plays the lo-fi beats the whole time, like through the whole game on their first playthrough? There's a psycho that's gonna do that. Maybe it's me. You're doing your first playthrough on English. Second, you'll do Japanese black and white. Interesting. So English first, then Japanese. Maybe you could do it in reverse order. Cape Crusader, you could do Japanese first, then English. Shems, what's up, man? Hey, ABG, first time listening to the live show in a month. So have you decided to buy Yotei then? Yeah. There's a lot of people specifically on Twitter, which, it goes to show how much of a disconnect there is between, YouTube and Twitter, where they definitely didn't get the memo. So, yeah, I'm going to be playing it. My copy should be arriving today. I don't know if it's going to be here like in the next couple hours or if it's going to come much later, but I should be able to play it today. Unless it's like delayed or something. I get very annoyed. It did tell me it's like out for delivery, so I'll keep an eye on that. Piper with a $5 chat says, bro, tell the whole truth. Tell the whole truth. All the games 8 for sales, and you don't have to pay $30 for Game Pass. Well, listen, I think there's something that has to be, I think, separated, where I'm not here to tell anybody to unsubscribe from Game Pass or to tell anybody that Game Pass is bad. All I can do is speak for myself and give my own opinion. And my opinion is I've never been interested in Game Pass. I've never liked Game Pass. And it's not because I had my concerns in the beginning about Game Pass where I'm like, I hope this doesn't take over because it makes me concerned about what the future of game development around a sub-service looks like. But then it became clear that that's not going to happen. Once that fear was gone, it just simply became, yeah, I'm not interested in sub-services. At least not right now in gaming. But truthfully, Piper, I'm not trying to say, hey, you shouldn't subscribe to Game Pass because it's not worth it. That's not my whole thing. Is I feel confident that by now, right? Like it's like what I said yesterday. The playing field is leveled now. Like we're on even footing, where the things that certain individuals, certain commentators and pundits and influencers, like I said, the things that they latched onto and weaponized, they can no longer do that. And instead, they're going to have to do, and this is the beauty of it. This is the beauty of it, in my opinion. They're going to have to do the same thing that we've been doing, that many people have been doing, which is, yeah, I'm just going to support this thing because I like it. Even though a lot of people may have a problem with it, even though a lot of people may not like it, and a lot of people may find certain negatives, I do like it. And so, yeah, I guess I don't really need to go beyond that. That's what they're going to have to do now. And that is, to me, a good thing, because it's like, yeah, that's where we all should be at this point. You know what I'm saying? Where we've tried to, I think it's the nature of competition that has brought certain aspects to the forefront of the conversation naturally. But the competition is clearly over. And with that, it's just going to be a matter of, well, where do you want to go to play your games, if somebody were to say to me like Game Pass at $30 a month is still better than buying games, it's like, okay, okay, bro, like I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just that's fine. Just don't tell me just don't tell me that don't try to convince me and others that Microsoft is something they're not. That's all I ask. That's like truthfully, that's all I want at this point is for people to just realize that Microsoft is not what you thought they were. What some of these people out here they were shoving it in your face like they're great, they're this, they're that. Like, dude, they're just Microsoft. They've always been Microsoft. They have their weaknesses. They have some of their strengths, but they're a corporation at the end of the day. And I always thought it was cringe. I'm going to be honest. You know, people can talk shit on Sony and that's fine. But you know what? At the end of the day, Sony wasn't the one out here trying to convince me that we're we're gonna we're gonna save you money, buddy, and we're gonna give you the best deal. Like Sony's just like, listen, we feel like we're making a good product, and we feel like this is how much we should charge for it. We think it's a fair deal. And the irony of that is that everybody is kind of like, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's how it's always been, and we're fine with that. And Ghost of Yotei is a perfect example of this, where even with all of the controversy surrounding it, it's still going to be a strong title because it's just what is there. Anybody who's played the game will tell you it's a good video game and it's a fun video game and a well-made video game. It's a high quality AAA video game that does a lot of things right and a lot of things well. And it's like, okay, so what does that mean? Do I get it day one on PlayStation Plus? No. Nobody on the PlayStation side is thinking like that. Everybody on the PlayStation side is thinking, so that means I'm going to buy it day one or, you know, within its launch window. And I'm okay paying $70 for that because the quality is there. I'm going to get what I pay for. And that's what matters. What matters more than anything is people being left with the feeling that they're getting what they paid for. And if you can do that, then you'll probably be successful, you know? Because $70 is a lot of money. It is a lot of money. And games are not cheap. AAA games, anyway. And the last thing you want to feel is after spending 70 hard-earned dollars that, man, that was a waste. And that wasn't worth it. And I just feel like, you know, it's not to say that, listen, it's not to say that Xbox doesn't produce any games that are worth the asking price for buying in. But I just have to ask people, like, what do you think would happen to Microsoft if they just completely got rid of Game Pass? You know? Like, do you think their games would just do you think like all the people who were expecting to get those games day one on Game Pass would just suddenly be like, I guess I'll buy them now? That's not gonna happen. Microsoft knows that. The people who are subscribed to Game Pass know that. So what Microsoft is basically hoping for is that we can increase the price to increase the profit margins on it. But we hope that that price increase is not that threshold. They're hoping that the $30 isn't the threshold that, guys, do you still think it's worth it? We're going to give you 75 day one games out. For a lot of people, from what I can tell, they're like, it's no. $20 was already pushing it. $30 is just, I'm out. And you have to ask yourself this question. Why is that? Why is that, dude? I think it's because people are going to start realizing that the days of getting great deals on subscription services and gaming are going to go away. And they were considered such a good deal for a while, for at least a little while there, because it's like, yeah, you normally would have to pay so much money for all these games, even if you don't play all these games. Sometimes for people, it's just the notion of having access to them. At any moment, I could go check out or looking forward to what's coming next. I think more people are just going to start being like, you know what? I'm just going to have to go back to the way I used to do things, which is being more picky and choosy about it, where maybe it is better off I buy a game, but I got to be really careful because I'm only going to spend the money on the game that I know for sure I want to play. Ghost of Yotei has a 4.90 rating on the PS Store. Not surprised. It's really high, actually. It's almost 5 stars across the board. Yeah, I saw that, Eternal. Zone, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Irvin, you're saying you played around 4 hours of Yotei. The story is very intriguing and keeps the audience curious. The graphics and art are amazing as expected in DualSense. Get ready for one of the best uses of that. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I was wondering how the DualSense was going to feel. It was good, I think, with Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, but they've had a lot more time with it now. You're 4 hours in already, though. That's impressive. It's impressive. And Irvin, you were concerned about the story too. So hearing you say that the story is very intriguing and it's keeping you curious, that's good. That's good. We're your true friends, not Phil Spencer. This is why you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Tarnish, you're saying Xbox fanboys are angry that I'm happy about Xbox Game Pass's failure. Jeez. I see a Devil Shooters responding to Piper. I think I missed what he said. MBG, you're fanboying. You're being the same person that you speak against right now. But how, though? Well, I mean, what specifically am I saying that sounds fanboyish? Like, I mean, look, what it boils down to, all it really boils down to, dude, is that Microsoft is not going to try to win people over by proposing a deal that Sony or Nintendo or anybody else isn't offering. I think that's like that book is closed now. Instead, it's just going to be you're going to have to pay more now. And we just hope that what we're offering is enough. Right? Microsoft is walking it back, dude. They're going back to the more traditional way of doing things. And that traditional way of doing things is exactly what I described a moment ago, which is you gotta offer something of quality. You have to offer something that feels like it's enough and it's worth the asking price. And maybe Microsoft knows something we don't. Look, if I'm truly trying to play devil's advocate here, and I think this is the least fanboyish thing I could do, right? Like this is anti-fanboy, right? Maybe there's something Microsoft knows about what's coming up with those 75 day one games that we don't, and they're confident that they're going to win people back. Maybe it's like, leave now, but once we show you the games that are coming, you'll be back. It's just me trying to be totally, like, again, devil's advocate. Who knows? But, you know, my assumption is that if they had that up their sleeve, they would play that card right now to prevent a mass exodus that's currently happening. You think PS Plus Premium isn't worth it either? Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm not subscribed to it. I've seen people say they feel as though it's worth it. The question I have is if PlayStation Plus Extra is now, in the eyes of most people, better than Game Pass Ultimate. Because Extra doesn't get day one games, but I don't know. It's got from what I hear, it's got a pretty good catalog. You saying you don't play on Xbox and you don't use the services, but you have a lot to say about it. Well, I do. Yeah, because I mean, to be honest, a lot of what's happening now is why I left Xbox and why I don't regret it. Like the funniest thing that I've seen in the past year, I would say, and I only come across it if I'm looking in certain places, but I've seen people kind of talk about how like MBG wants to come back to Xbox. He knows he wants to come back. He just can't. And I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Like, believe me when I tell you, there is zero regret. Um, it could, it would have been interesting if we were at a point where it's like, you know what, though, holy shit, Microsoft. What people don't know is that if Microsoft turned it around in the way that I had hoped they would, I would be the first person to be like, yes, dude. People would shit on me for it. People would be like, oh, you're a grifter. But it's like, no, like, this is what I wanted to see. This is what I wanted to see. And they're doing it. And then I look at Sony and be like, Sony, see what's going on over here? So, it's, I don't need to worry anymore about playing on an Xbox or going to the Xbox ecosystem because Microsoft has made it clear that anything that they could potentially offer to entice me, they will be bringing to where I already am. They'll bring it to me and many others, and that's fine. I'm not angry at that. But it's just like, so what does that mean? What it means is that everything we've been assuming or speculating for like the past 3 years, which is, are they going to like maybe not pull a complete Sega, but like a modern day Sega, like a 2025 Sega, like it's like, yeah, dude, they are like, they're done. They're going to purposely price out everybody with their console. They're going to increase the price of Game Pass and try to get more from the people who are going to stay. But their moneymaker is Call of Duty on PlayStation. Their moneymaker will be the Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation and probably, well, I don't know. I was going to say Switch 2, but maybe not Switch 2 on PC. It's like this is just how it's going to be. And sometimes I think some people project a little bit of insecurity where it's like, well, you're being a fanboy, MBG. Like, you don't know, you don't even play on Xbox. It's like, dude, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with people playing on Xbox. Like there's not, I'm not being that person. I'm not that person now. Like I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying that, like, here's what's going to happen. And it's not because it's like, lock it in, I'm going to be right, you're wrong, y'all going to look stupid. Like, no, it's not like that. It's just like, I'm telling you, like, this is my analysis. Just like I was trying to tell people last year, just like I tried to tell people when Microsoft did their Xbox podcasts. It's like, it's not, guys, it's not going to, I didn't say it like this. I was going berserk. I was going crazy, which is why I don't think anybody listened to me. But you live and you learn. But essentially what I was trying to say is, like, guys, like, we all know it's not just going to be 4 games, right? Like, if you listen really closely to the way Phil Spencer worded it, he's clearly telegraphing that there's going to be more. Right? Like, we all get that. And then when, like, the rumors were going around that's like Microsoft is taking over the Xbox division, and there was all this speculation about, is it going to be Microsoft Gaming now? And it's like, yes. They might not literally name it Microsoft Gaming, but yes, Microsoft is in charge now. Phil Spencer is not in charge anymore, nor is Matt Booty or Sarah Bond. Like, sure, they have some level of autonomy because they have to have it, but they're not the ones charting the ship anymore, deciding where we're headed. They're the ones that your job now is to execute on my vision, aka Satya Nadella's vision and Amy Hood's vision, right? Like, and if they don't do that, they're done. They've basically been given a second chance where it's like, we tried to let you do your own thing and it didn't work. So now I want you to do my thing, and hopefully you can make that work. And if you can't make my thing work, then this just isn't going to work at all. And I've just tried to tell people, like, this should be obvious to people. That's why it's so difficult not to think about the Activision Blizzard deal in 2023, that year-long situation. It's hard not to go back to that because I was getting slandered like crazy, bro. And one of the things I was really trying to warn people of back then, and not so much a warning, maybe I did frame it that way, but it's just like the things you are weaponizing against Sony right now, you're going to find out that Microsoft is the exact same, if not worse in some regards. So be careful how much you choose to weaponize it. And of course, at that time, Microsoft was utterly desperate to make themselves look weak and frail and like we can't even move because Sony's got their boot on our throat. You know, it's like they had to posture themselves like that so they could get the ABK deal through. And they said, we won't do this. We won't do that. We're not going to do all these different things. Don't worry. And then the deal goes through. Flash forward to a year and a half later, and they're doing all those things, and they're not acting weak and frail at all. They're out here exerting their force, you know? Like, yeah, we are going to operate like a $3.8 trillion corporation now. And that's all, man. That's all. I just feel like it cannot be understated that there is a group of people right now that are so wrong. Like, they've been proven so wrong. And frankly, I think there's people out here who feel like they've been kind of played a little bit. And it's like, yeah, that's because you have. It's because and it's fine. It happens. Like I said, Microsoft dumps millions, hundreds of millions of dollars into their marketing. But it's like, this is why the last person you should be listening to when it comes to how you should feel or think about the Xbox brand and Microsoft and gaming are the people that are being invited to go to dinner with people like Phil Spencer and shit like that, or these meetups. Like, those are the last people you should ever listen to. And I'm not even saying you need to listen to me. I'm just saying you gotta be willing to hear out the individual who's not partaking in that, viewing it from the outside looking in and being like, yeah, that's too good to be true, and that's not going to last. Whatever it is, whatever picture they're trying to paint, don't fall for it. That's it. That's all it is. That's all I've been trying to say this whole time. Ray, you're saying they're trying to get rid of Game Pass to sell games again? Well, I don't think they're trying to. Yeah. I don't know that they're trying to get rid of it as much as it's just Sony was right. Nintendo was right. Valve was right. Like, I think it's so funny that Microsoft went against all three. And there were people who were like, yeah, they're like, Microsoft is right. And it's like, it's easy for you to see it that way because they're eating a shit ton of money right now. And that's fine. Let them eat it. They should. But they're going to get tired of eating that money. They're going to get tired of losing money for the sake of giving you that value, that perceived value. Eventually, they're going to realize that there's a reason why Sony doesn't do this. There's a reason why Nintendo doesn't do this. There's a reason why Valve doesn't do this. There's a reason why nobody does this. And that reason is simple. It doesn't make financial sense. So the only thing that Microsoft can do now is A, sell games in places where people buy games. B, increase the price of their subscription service in the hopes that they can make it more profitable and stop losing money. So, Ray, I do think you are right, but the only difference is I would say that Microsoft made it clear that they want to sell video games. They want people to buy their games when they decide to buy ABK and when they bought Bethesda and said, we're going to put our games on PlayStation. That's the message being delivered loud and clear. Like, we need to sell. It turns out we do need to sell games. This is why, man. Like, I'm sorry that I'm going on about it again. It's hard not to, because for those of you who've been here for a long time, you know, it's been years in the making, literally years, where it's like, dude, I have had to defend, go on the defense, or like, you know, shield myself or whatever from the constant, if not attacks, sometimes it's just straight up attacks, but just the slander and the nonsense and the arguments that would come my way, where it's like, you don't know what you are talking about. You are yelling, you are speaking directly to me and to many others assertively as if you know what you're talking about, and you do not. And the reason you don't is because you're failing to see the simplicity in these corporations are not your friends. They want to make money. And the only thing that's going to ultimately matter is not how much they're charging for a product, but if the amount they're charging for it feels worth it or not. That's all that's going to matter. And here we are. Why do you think Microsoft is like, we're giving you more? We're giving you more. We're giving you more day one games, and look at everything we're adding to it, because they're trying to puff it up, man, and add the fluff to it, where it's like, look, it's much more valuable now. Let me see. That was a perfect image. They have over 500 games now, dude. Jeez. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that was that they had that many games. And Yaron with a $5 chat says, prepare for Sony price increases. Usually Xbox gets the bad news out first and everyone else follows. Well, yeah, and I am prepared for that, Yaron. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not going to say it's not going to happen. I would absolutely tell people, don't get too comfortable, you know? Sony's made it clear that they will increase prices as well. My only hope is that if they do increase prices, they do add something significant, because I don't know. It's hard for me to care too much. If they increase the price of PlayStation Plus Essential, I'm going to snap. I will freak out at that, because it's like, dude, stop. It's already too much. Extra and premium, I'm not subscribed to, so if they do that, I probably won't pay as much attention. But Sony, they would be wise not to do that. They really would. Like, they should kind of look at it as, you're in a good position. People are not as mad at you right now. Just saying. You just increased the price of the PS5, and that did not go over very well. But I think people kind of understood. I noticed that. Like, when Sony increased the price of the PS5, people weren't happy, but the outrage wasn't as severe, because people kind of were like, well, yeah, I guess this was going to happen. You know, it took longer than some people thought. And Sony basically said 3 months prior that it might happen. But anything they do now, it's like, it's becoming a harder and harder sell for people, you know? But we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing. John Schroeder, a member for 1 month, says, sorry about the bitch comment, but I meant no harm. Really thought you were passing because the online trolls. Really enjoy your content. Keep it up. Oh, it's all good, dude. Yeah, I think some people, I didn't take it negatively, John. I appreciate you letting me know, though, by the way. It had me laughing a little bit. It's like, yo, man, stop being a bitch. What are you doing? But the problem with Twitter, as I was saying earlier, John, is that, like, there's just too many people who they are, like, totally out of the loop of anything I do on YouTube and the conversation, and they don't realize that, like, yo, that stream's from like 2 weeks ago, man, or like almost 3 weeks ago at this point, and like we've had a lot of different conversations since then. But I do appreciate it, bud. And yeah, I don't want to miss out on Yotei either. I know that some people are still feeling very strongly about it in a negative way, but I'm just holding up my end of the bargain, bro. And Michael Werneth comes in. Michael Membership Werneth. Michael, hit the like button. Werneth drops another 10 membership gifts for you guys. And so that follows up Ray dropping 5, and that brings us to 15. So, guys, we're already doing better than we were yesterday. So 10 more and we hit that first goal and Boss can get some treats. Michael, thank you so much for that, buddy.
PlayStation has been defining the gaming industry for the past 3 decades.
Oh, man. I forgot I had Hideaki Nishino on here, bro. And Corey, the legend Landiga, follows it up with another 5 memberships. He figured it out. He's like, I got to figure it out for Boss. I got to find a way. He drops 5 more and brings us up to 20 members on the day. And just like that, we're now only 5 away. We're 5 away and we can feed the beast. I'm going to have to move this because I think this is why he's not jumping up there. He's just sitting next to me. His tail's going. He's like, is it time? Is it time, bro? Soon. Soon, boss. And Corey comes in and he says, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it myself. He drops another 5 for you guys. And so Corey drops 10 after Michael drops 10. And just like that, we hit 25 members.
Holy shit.
Yeah, absolutely love to see it. Guys, thank you so much. Reminder, by the way, important reminder. Morning with the Misses. I can't necessarily commit to it every week, but we are going to have a Morning with the Misses tomorrow. All right. I'll put the stream out. It'll be for members. I'll put the stream out early so you guys will know. Make sure you have notifications turned on. But we're going to be streaming with Mrs. MBG. We're going to hang out with you guys, talk for a while. Hopefully things won't get too out of hand. So if you got gifted a membership, please look forward to that. And we'll have more members content coming. What time? I'm probably going to shoot for 10 a.m., but the latest I would do it is 11 a.m. So I would say check at 10. That's what I'm going to shoot for. But if like I'm a little bit behind or something, 11 a.m. is probably the latest. That's Eastern time, by the way, for me. Yeah, so. All right, it's time to feed the beast.
Boasty, read me. It's time to feed the beast.
You ready? Come on. I got to get the treats for you. Okay, boss. I can't get the treats if you don't get off my lap. Here you go, man. Enjoy. Corey and Michael got your back. And Ray. Does that work there, I think? Yeah, so thank you for the support, guys. Really appreciate you getting that member train going. I'll update the goal. We're sitting at 25. So we crushed the first goal. We'll see what happens. Maybe we'll end up crushing the second. If we hit 50, I'll do some reps at the end of the stream. You know how we do it. Give me 1 sec here. I have to double check something. And then we'll continue our conversation. And I think I missed a super chat. Okay. Corey says it's all in the name of boss. Absolutely. Well, he's happy. Don't inhale it, dude. He's a little too happy. And guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. We're sitting at 85 likes. We're 15 away from hitting 100. Hitting the like button definitely helps the streams. Lets me know you guys enjoy it. IGN did a video saying, why is every PlayStation story the same? Yeah, we're going to have to check that out. Somebody told me about that. And I'm like, IGN just, they want the punishment, you know? I wonder if they do make any compelling points. For anybody who watched it, did they actually give any good reasoning? Did they make any sense? And Yaren with a $5 super chat saying Sony, Xbox, Nintendo may delete your libraries in the future once AI can fully make games. Elon's game company will use AI to make games, just not fully yet. I mean, that would be very unfortunate for Sony, Xbox, and Nintendo, Yaren. If they decide to delete people's digital game libraries, that's going to be bad for business. But yeah, this is why some people get nervous about buying games digitally. I don't think that'll ever happen, but I mean, if they want to kill their business, they could do that. Used to bartend at a spot where IGN workers would come in and talk shit about their own jobs. That's pretty funny, Butcher. Michael Werniff, you're saying, I mean to be truthful, most stories are the same. The biggest is like the hero's tale. Starts optimistic, unfortunate event happens, comeback story, good feelings. Well, yeah, isn't it like there's only like 7 stories that can actually be told or something like that? I'm assuming that's not what they're going to talk about in the video because that kind of wouldn't make sense. You know? That wouldn't make sense. Like, it wouldn't make sense to critique that because there's nothing anybody can do about that. Maybe I'll check it out. But yeah, I think that'll count as the PlayStation Plus discussion. I don't know if I want to keep going on and on about the Game Pass situation, but you know, it's I guess like I'll wrap up my thoughts on it for now. I think that going forward, people are going to have a clear understanding when it comes to what Microsoft is looking to achieve. I think people are starting to wake up to the realization that Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo, they all have a they all have a common goal. And that goal is to try to continue to grow during times like this. Times of uncertainty, I guess you could say, or turmoil. And so as long as you keep that in mind, nothing could really shock you. And the final thing I'll say is people are just going to have to determine for themselves what their personal breaking point is. Okay? I think for a lot of people, that already happened. Microsoft stock is way up for this week, which is crazy. It's down today. Yeah, people are just going to have to determine what their personal breaking point is, where I don't think this stuff is going to stop anytime soon. I hate to say it. I don't know how far the price increases are going to be taken. I don't know how long this is going to last for. But the only thing you can rest assured of is that these companies are going to continue to seek growth. And, they're going to try to find any way they can to extract more money out of the customer. And, you're just going to have to decide for yourself whether or not it's worth supporting. Again, this is why I'm not going to criticize anybody who wants to stay subscribed to Game Pass. I'm not going to do that. Just like I'm not going to criticize anybody who wants to buy Ghost of Yotei or anybody who wants to buy the PS5 Pro. I'm not going to do this because it's just, this is where we are. I said yesterday, and I'll say it again because I think this is going to be a new mantra that people are going to start to adopt. You're either in or you're out. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't criticize. It doesn't mean the criticism won't do anything, but this is just where we are now. It's where we've been for a little bit, and I think it's where we're going to stay for a little while. So, play what you want. Do what you want, you sons of bitches. Got libertarian MBG over here. I don't know. What is this? Okay. So, Ghost of Yotei. My copy still has not arrived. Have you seen Sora 2? It can take your photos and your voice, then it puts you in any world prompt you want it to. Your haters will put you through many of their disgusting imaginations. That is disturbing. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about that, Tarnished. I don't think I want to know anything about that. Let me go check out that IGN video real quick, though. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up forgetting about it. Is it on their YouTube channel? Let's see. IGN. Yo, Lamb of God just put out a new song. Oh shit. I missed that. I'm gonna have to check that out later. All right. Looking now. IGN. Why? Okay. Why is every PlayStation story the same? The the top comment. I bet he loves the stories of Mario and Zelda. So the comment section isn't going the way you planned. Every story sounds the same when you take everything out of context. Why do all of your reviews sound the same? Oh my god. Dude, they're getting lit up. Titus, thank you so much, buddy. Titus Crow comes in and renews his membership. And he comes back to greatness awaits. He's got the greatness. Titus, thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That does take us past the 25 mark and brings us up to the 26 mark. And yeah, just a shout out to, obviously a shout out to anybody who gifts memberships, but also a shout out if you actually stay a member month over month and pay for your membership. It definitely helps. I really, really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. What is this IGN Xbox damage control? When was this video uploaded? This video was uploaded 3 hours ago. Okay. IGN just so happened to forget about Astrobot, Returnal, GT7, Helldivers, Concord. Concord? The bro actually mentioned, come on. Destruction All-Stars. Why you meant? I mean, I guess yeah, I get it. Dreams, Stellar Blade, Lost Soul Side, Lego Horizon Adventures, Rise of the Ronin, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, etc. All of them Sony published games in the past 5 years, and there's more. Not all of them are good, looking at you, Concord, but they do paint a very different picture from what IGN is saying. You have to be brain dead if you think every PlayStation story is the same. This is interesting, guys. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. It's interesting to think that, like, dude, normally leave it to IGN. IGN figured it out. They figured out how to get people to stop hating on PlayStation. Instead, people are defending PlayStation. I'm like, wow, that's quite impressive. To do that in 2025, that's quite impressive, bro. So that must have been a really terrible video. It's 10 minutes. I don't think I want to watch it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you guys think I should? Based off the comments, it sounds like it's not good. Watch the first 3 minutes. All right. We could do 2 or 3 minutes. That's not too bad. It's a 10-minute video. If it gets real bad real fast, I'll just stop. Yo, is this video going to trigger me, though? Is that what it is? Is that why you want me to watch it? It's going to make me lose it. We'd be like, no! Garrett's like, I don't know, man. I'm already annoyed. Well, I think they have, what's interesting to me, this is the only interesting thing that caught my eye about the video, is they have Ghost of Yotei in the thumbnail. Like, I think this is, like, clearly rage bait, right? Like, it feels like obvious rage bait. So, I mean, just right off the bat, Oh, there's no audio. Shit. God damn it. Damn it. I did it again. Oh my God, bro. First yesterday where I'm just sitting there for like 5 minutes muted. Oh. I'm sorry. If it makes you guys feel any better, you didn't miss nothing, bro. It may as well have just been silence. I'm about to critique the first thing, and you guys didn't hear any of it. I'm sorry. Let's try this again. All right. Here we go.
I'm a huge fan of PlayStation's first-party offerings. They've come to embody the sort of cinematic adventures I've always looked for when sitting down with a controller in my hand, feeling like genuine blockbuster events meant to be savoured. But where in the past this brand of glossy storytelling felt like new ground being trodden, I can't help but feel that recently it's become the well-worn road. It's not just that all of PlayStation's major releases adhere to the now trademark third-person cinematic stylings. It's that the stable of developers has become seemingly obsessed with stories that explore the exact same themes.
So what I was going to say is right off the bat, wrong. Like, dude, you're just wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like, a lot of Sony's games follow that, third-person cinematic type experience, but to say that that's all they have, that's all that makes up their major releases, that's just simply not true. And there's like multiple games you could immediately pull from that would just immediately, again, it's just like wrong. Wait, hold on. He's British, opinion invalidated. Damn. MVP most. I'm not playing Yotei because my copy hasn't arrived yet, bro. It hopefully will be here soon. It's in transit right now.
Grief and revenge, and I'm starting to get a little tired of it. As a rule, these games are all impeccably well made, but I'm starting to miss that era when PlayStation's range felt wider and things were a little bit more fun. The realization that so many PlayStation games have explored the same grim story themes struck me when playing through Sucker Punch's new Ghost of Yotei. While I thoroughly enjoyed it and admire its consistently exciting approach to combat and genuine sense of discovery it creates for exploration, I couldn't help but feel I'd been told its story before. As Atsu, you're tasked with avenging the death of your parents on a blood-soaked journey across 17th century Japan, as you hunt down each of the Yotei 6. Not only is this tale unfortunately close to the plot of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which I also played to completion earlier this year, but it's the same combination of fiery revenge arc, crossed with meditations on what it is to grieve, that has become something of a hallmark for PlayStation Studios in recent years.
I'm sorry it came to this. Little wolf.
Did this guy not take a second to think that, maybe this is what these devs are going through? All right. Maybe they're grieving. They're dealing with loss. They're like, I gotta find my out, I gotta find my catharsis here. No, I'm just well, I mean, maybe. You muted the stream yourself. Thank God it's not me this time. I'll watch a little bit more.
2019's The Last of Us Part 2 is an obvious trailblazer, with Ellie's dark descent into a rage-filled embodiment of revenge coming as a result of the death of her father figure Joel. That, of course, was the sequel to the 2013 original that explored how Joel struggled to cope with the death of his own daughter. At the time, The Last of Us was seen as fueling a wave of sad dad games, including 2018's God of War. But in hindsight, these were just the building blocks for PlayStation's preoccupation with grief.
Yo, what the okay, I gotta ask a question. What is wrong with the sad dad game? I am triggered. Like, what's wrong with the Sad Dad game, bro? The Sad Dad games arguably are some of the fucking best ever made. That's not all we get, though. But what's up with this whole, oh, another Sad Dad game? Like, yeah, and Sad Dad trigger warning. The fatigue. Well, to be fair, the next God of War game, I don't think it'll be Sad Dad mode, you know? I don't think it can be. Heavy Rain. Yeah, dude. I mean, The Last of Us is peak gaming, dude. It's peak gaming, peak everything. Yeah, that was tough, Dillo. That was tough. Is Astrobot Sad Dad 2? No, they're saving that for the sequel. You bought the teal controller for the PS5. It looks amazing. Returnal, Sad Dad. Ratchet and Clank, Sad Dad. Demon Souls, Sad Dad. I didn't know Astrobot, Spider-Man 2018, Spider-Man 2, Wolverine, Demon Souls, GT7 were all Sad Dads. Yeah, bro, didn't you see in GT7 when that one car's dad died? Like, it was pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Concord wasn't Sad Dad, and look at what happened. See what happens? See what happens when PlayStation deviates from Sad Dad? Herman's like, thank God, finally, something other than the Sad Dad. Instead, we got pronoun trash can. Like, come on, bro. How are you going to replace Sad Dad with pronoun trash can? Get out of here. Get out of here with that shit. They got out. They did.
Find your way home. You are free.
2022's God of War Ragnarok is a story fueled by the loss of mothers and sons and the anger that comes with them. Insomniac's Spider-Man series follows both Peter Parker and Miles Morales as they attempt to overcome supervillain threats, as well as wrestle with their demons stemming from dead parental figures.
She never thought about herself.
Okay, like, sure, but that's part of Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like, to insinuate that they shouldn't do this, that they shouldn't touch on this stuff in the Spider-Man games is really disingenuous because, like, bro, this is from the source material. Come on now. And they even skipped the Uncle Ben thing. You gotta at least give him credit for that. It's like being mad at Batman because it's like, oh, here he goes, acting all dramatic about his dead parents again. Like, what do you mean? You know?
Even when she was struggling to breathe.
2020's Returnal is a looping sci-fi nightmare born out of the protagonist.
Oh, you know what? Hold on, though. Ironically enough, though, guys. So Returnal is a sad mother game. I totally forgot. Spoilers for the story of Returnal. It's true. Yeah, it's a sad mom game. Well, I said sad mother. Sad mother game. Sad mom game. But creatively done. You know, see, if anything, Returnal serves as great proof that it's not about telling the same type of story. It's how you tell it. It's how you tell it. And this is why I'm so curious about Saros, dude, because the way I think Returnal and Housemarque do not get enough credit for the story they told in Returnal. It's a bit ambiguous. It doesn't give you like direct answers per se. You have to kind of piece some things together. But I don't think they get enough credit where it's like there's actually a really, really good and interesting story here. And like how you start the game in Returnal, where you're like, oh shit, I'm a space chick, I guess, you know, like shooting shit up and surviving. This is crazy and I can't get out of this loop. And then you find it's like, oh, okay, this is so she's kind of crazy, huh? Like it's really interesting to me. So Saros will be sad husband game. Yes. Hell yeah. Sad husband game. Let's go. Would that be the first sad husband game? Well, I guess God of War counts as sad husband. Yeah, that counts as sad husband. But I'm curious to see if that's actually what Soros turns out to be. The IGN guy probably doesn't ever go outside. He has no friends or loved ones. He's a sad loner. God damn. I hope not. That's just depressing at that point. You have to return to Returnal and finish it. Emotionally drained birthing person? Whatever floats your boat, Hanzo. If anybody ever referred to their mother as that, I would see them as the strangest. Like, I think they might need to be in a facility. It's not normal. Game has sad moment equals sad dad game. Well, there was a sad moment at the end of Astrobot, you know, a kind of sad moment, you know. Ghost of Sadness. Michael Lynch with a super chat says sad dad gaming is better than sad mom gaming. It wouldn't be much to the combat if the average mother went out for revenge. Well, hey, it depends on how they want to handle it. It depends on how they want to handle it. It depends on what type of mom, you know? I don't know. You say that, Michael. My mother broke down my fucking door one time. Don't underestimate moms. No joke. I locked my bedroom door and I'm like, I ain't coming out. Leave me alone. And she was getting real pissed off. And I was in the room playing a game with my cousin and we were laughing. I was being defiant. I think I was like 12. She literally broke the fucking door down and I jumped out the fucking window. I was on the second floor too. I jumped out the window. Scared the living shit out of me. So, you know, got to be careful, Michael. You don't underestimate. Don't underestimate the moms out there. Bart Simpson, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy though. That was so funny. I was a dumb kid. I was. There were many times where I was a very dumb kid. But anyway, we're going to keep trucking along. We'll make it through this. We'll make it, guys.
Celine's familial grief-related trauma. And then there's 2025's other big PlayStation exclusive, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach, which may not technically be a first-party game, but certainly is a verifiable feast of maternal and paternal anguish. Don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of all the games listed above, each singular in its depictions of characters and each offering wildly different gameplay experiences. But when viewed as a whole, it's easy to hear that their stories are all being sung from the same hymn sheet. Familial grief is at the centre of all of these stories, and while I certainly feel that mature themes have a place in games, it is all starting to feel like I'm getting hit around the head with the same ideas at this point. The cycle of violence is in very real danger of becoming a loop of diminishing returns.
You gutted my father.
He defied Lord Saito.
Then you tried to burn me alive.
Of course, it's true that not every PS5 game follows this pattern. Astrobot isn't an exploration of generational trauma in deep space.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I started to like freak out internally a little bit when Astrobot just popped up on screen. I'm like, ain't no way this guy's about to try to tell me why Astrobot ain't enough. Tell me how Astrobot ain't enough, bro. Did that little spoiler right there. Little spoiler. Hopefully that's the last one. Sad robot game.
But you catch my drift. I think that's incidentally what I enjoyed so much about Team Asobi's Ode to PlayStation of old. With its joy and colour standing out from the otherwise morose crowd. It felt like a rarity, but it never used to be this way. The PS3 gave us Naughty Dog's Uncharted era, which, although it eventually ventured into more melancholic territory in A Thief's End, firmly planted its flag in themes of adventure with a tone ripped from the pages of Pulp Fiction. I've always had a soft spot for Insomniac's Resistance and its World War II/sci-fi warfare mashup, as well as Little Big Planet, which, all the way at the other end of the tonal spectrum, celebrated creativity and community.
Welcome to Bunkum Chummy Chum Chum, where the sky is strewn with circling clouds of imagination.
Yes, these games all contain varying levels of character nuances, but were all fundamentally about different things. Treasure hunting, alien invasions, and personal expression. They weren't all trying to serve the same story, and I can't help but feel that if a new Jak and Daxter game were to come out today, it would be about an Otzel's thirst for revenge against the killers of his blonde-haired friend.
Hang on, Dax, it's gonna be close!
I hope that future PlayStation exclusives can look to this more varied, interesting past for inspiration, even when choosing to tackle more serious subject matters. Team Ico's PS2 classic Shadow of the Colossus took on a mournful tone, but found something truly unique and poignant within it, at a time when such ideas were far less common in games.
Yo, Shadow of the Colossus is a masterpiece,
as a unique masterpiece to this day, telling its tale through vagaries and minimal cutscenes, a far cry from the trademark cinematic style we now expect of PlayStation games. What we didn't have back in the mid-2000s were 5 more PS2 releases that took its exact contemplations on love and loss and told the same story in a different wrapping. Every time you played something new from Sony Studios on the now 25-year-old console, it felt like a brand new experiment with a different story to tell, not just a variation on a theme. That brings me back to Ghost of Yotei, a game that is superior to its predecessor in almost every aspect, barring its central story.
My name is Atsu.
While I connect to Atsu more than I ever did Jin Sakai, she's a much warmer presence to spend a few dozen hours with. Ghost of Tsushima's narrative explores different, fresher ground. The story balances the personal struggles of Jin against the backdrop of an invasion of a nation, with themes of honor, betrayal, and belonging striking a chord and making it stand out when it arrived hot on the heels of The Last of Us Part 2 in 2020.
I can't agree with that. The story of Ghost of Tsushima was somewhat unique, I guess you could say. Like it was a little bit different, you know? It was interesting to see how it was so heavily focused on the notion of, you know, honor, like doing the honorable thing or losing your honor and betraying your honor. All right. We may as well just finish it. It's almost done.
Before grief seemingly took hold of every Sony storyteller. Perhaps PlayStation's interest in grief is a reflection of the state of the world, though. When viewed through the lens of when PS5 exclusives like Ghost of Yotei and Death Stranding were being written, that melancholy is somewhat understandable. The COVID pandemic inarguably took hold of our planet in the years 2020 and 2021, and as such, themes surrounding unexpected loss and mass trauma would no doubt have been at the forefront of many minds. It will therefore be intriguing to see if this pattern will continue much further then, now that the world has somewhat settled back into what it looked like beforehand. Will the stories being told in projects that began production post-2022 mirror a different state of the planet, or continue to look inside ourselves at our darkest moments? These are, of course, all valid tales to tell, and I'm a huge proponent of art being reflections of those creating it, but I can't help but wish for a little more variety going forward.
I will find every last member of the Yotei 6. And I will bring you peace.
There's a reason to be hopeful and skeptical, considering what Sony has coming up next. Insomniac's Wolverine looks to be delivering on all of the gore and decapitation you'd hope to see, but will that mature rating be reflected in its themes?
Death's always waiting.
Logan is certainly a character consumed by lust for revenge. Will that see us taken down a familiar path of burying past demons through ultra-violence? Or will we get an altogether different story that taps into a different part of his psyche? James Mangold's Logan already told us a tale that would have slotted nicely into PlayStation's sad dad canon, as X-23 tapped into the softer side of his adamantium body.
All right. I didn't expect them to put Logan footage here. Last time I got Logan footage, I got a copyright. I don't know. I think that dude's just a PlayStation hater. Now, interestingly enough, like, I do think there are people, PlayStation gamers, I guess we could say, that do feel this way, that would agree with this, but we're kind of at odds somewhat because it's like, I don't know, like, what if you like those type of games and you don't mind getting more of them? You know what I'm saying? Thank you for making me go out of my way to hit the dislike button on that video. You're welcome. GT7 sad car game. Yo, Logan was incredible. MBG, my copy of Yotei just came in the mail, but I have work tomorrow, damn it. Has anyone watched Liam Triforce's just released PS2 retrospective? I haven't seen it. A PS2 retrospective? Maybe I'll bring this up and watch it later on my own time. I don't know who this is. Liam Triforce, you said? Oh, that's interesting. 2 hour and 11 minute PS2 retrospective. Yeah, I might check that out. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched this person's videos before. Maybe I came across one a while ago. But I'll definitely check that out. I don't think I've seen a PS2 retrospective yet. Let's be honest. This take was deeply reductionist. Poor quality of thinking. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that video could probably be summed up in, like, probably a minute or two by simply just saying that you would like to see Sony release more games that are akin to something like Astrobot or just very different. But I don't know, man. I do think that, at least when it comes to, like, Naughty Dog, I think the tone of Intergalactic could be very different from most Sony games. It really depends. It's hard to tell. We haven't really seen enough of it yet, but everything that they've said about how they're going to approach storytelling differently, you know, that to me is the most interesting part of Intergalactic and how it could be very different from any of Naughty Dog's games, frankly. It's a PlayStation hit piece. How dare they? How dare they? Yeah. Hold on one sec. Okay. Michael, you're saying I'm 10 minutes behind. 2.25 times playback speed activate. There's only 7 story plots anyway. Jake, yeah, I got your emails, buddy. I appreciate that. IGN just spoiled a whole bunch of PlayStation games. Angry Well Watcher says, I need PlayStation Studios to draw more inspiration from Goodbye Volcano High. Yikes. That's a big yikes. Well, I've been, I noticed that Horizon wasn't mentioned, like, at all. But I've enjoyed a lot, if not pretty much all of the games that Sony's been putting out this generation. And I am curious with Ghost of Yotei. I am curious to see how I'm going to feel about it, Like I feel good going into it, but I'm just curious if the story is something that kind of like I look to as like, yeah, that was fantastic. Like, one of the stories I think about when I think about the PlayStation 5 generation and not just the first party, but the games I played. And Mesh comes in. Mesh comes in and decides to become a channel member. Welcome, Mesh. And it looks like it's not even a membership renewal. It looks like it's just your first time deciding to become a channel member. So I really appreciate that. Good stuff,
Thank
buddy.
you. Appreciate it.
That brings us to 27 on the day. Let me add that to the goal. Really appreciate all the support you guys have been showing. There we go. So yeah, we'll see if we can keep that member train rolling. Am I buying Ghost of Yotei? Yeah, I'm gonna be playing it. Since you enjoyed Sony's games this generation so far, do you feel like they could have been better or more innovative, or that they're great as they are? I know it's a loaded question. It's a good question. I mean, I guess I'm kind of in the camp of I can understand why, because we've gotten so many sequels, and a lot of these sequels naturally play it more safe because they're sequels. People feel like, I wish we got like, more innovative new IP and stuff like that. I can understand that, but I am in the camp of people that like, I've really enjoyed these games, like the games that Sony put out during like the PS4 generation that all got sequels. I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much all of them. And I'm definitely not opposed to getting more of that, especially at like higher fidelity, higher quality. I think for me, it's more about going into next generation. I do not expect Sony to just walk away. Like I am expecting a Horizon 3. I am expecting a Spider-Man 3. I'm expecting these things. But I guess it's just going to be a matter of like, if Sony can take the amount of resource that they dumped into live service this gen and instead basically be like, well, what if we just kind of doubled our single player output or got close to doing that? And so we can have our sequels and like our tried and true IP that we want to keep going. But in between, we can also have these, we can have some of these teams making new games or doing different things. If they can do more of that in place of, and maybe, maybe some of these live service games could be that. I think for a lot of people, they just immediately write them off, though. I don't know. It's one of these things where I do feel that going deeper into this generation and as we approach the PlayStation 6 generation, we probably are going to see some more new stuff. I think the time is coming. But yeah, I mean, when I look at stuff like Saros and Wolverine, I mean, yeah, it's like it's Wolverine, it's more Marvel, but it's like, to me, that's like 100%. Like, there's not really much else you could show me. Like, I'm trying to envision Insomniac coming out with a new game, and that new game is revealed at the State of Play, and it's not Wolverine. It's not Marvel. It's not Wolverine. It's just brand new. I'm having a difficult time imagining what that game could be that would get me more excited than what I just saw with Wolverine. And same thing with like Saros, I guess this is just kind of where I sit, where it's like, I would totally be open to seeing Housemarque do something completely different and new. I would totally be open for that or to that. But when they show me Saros and it's a new character, a new world, a new story, but basically a refinement of Returnal's gameplay, considering how thoroughly I enjoyed Returnal and how fun it was, it's like, yeah, it's hard for me to be upset with that. Like, I just naturally feel excited for that. I guess it just really kind of depends on how far it's taken, you know? That's true, Mr. B. You're saying Returnal story involves grief, but it's not a revenge story. That is true. Price prediction for the PS6? I'm going to say $600. Maybe that's too low, but I'm thinking $600. I mean, if they go higher than 600, how the hell are they going to... How are they going to penetrate the mass market, bro? Trying to penetrate the mass market at $600 is already a tough ask. It's a tough thing to do. Yo, could you imagine if they came in at 500? That'd be insane. Not anticipating that, though. I think 600 is the highest they could go, reasonably. Yeah, pause. Shems, you're saying 1,000 plus? Oh my God, dude. Michael says, I'm caught up. Thanks for watching the IGN video, bud. You're welcome. Yeah, once they started showing Logan footage, I had to bail out. They'll go for $800 and $850 with the disc drive in hopes to sell more PS5s. That'd be such a crazy strategy for Sony. That would be so wild. The PlayStation 2 library had over 10,000 games. The PS2 library was crazy. Yeah. They're going to call it the PS5 2. Yeah, they're not even going to call it the PS6. They're just going to call it the PS5 2. They're going to embrace it. Apparently, they will have a disc model. Yeah, Insider Gaming revealed that, which is great news to me. Sony does not want to take any loss on hardware manufacturing from the get-go, possibly. Yeah, well, I don't know that they're going to be able to do that, though, man. Like, I think they'll try to mitigate it, or minimize it, I mean to say. But I don't see how they're not going to... I don't know. It's a tough one. MBG help, I have over 450 hours in Night Rain. It's so good. Damn, 450 hours. That is impressive. You never owned a PS2, Josh? That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I can't believe that. I swear there's no chance it will be $600. And you would not want a $600 console in late 2027. I mean, I do think $600 is off-putting to a lot of people. I think it's the handheld. I'm telling you, the handheld is going to be... I really believe that the PlayStation 6 handheld is going to be what saves the PlayStation 6, potentially. Like, I think the PlayStation 6 by itself, the home console, will be successful and could be successful even at $600. And Michael Wernick comes in. Michael, hit that like button, Wernick. Guys, you're not hitting the like button enough. Or actually, you must be, because he's still dropping membership gifts for you guys. But I know he wants more. I know he wants more likes. He comes in, he drops 10 more membership gifts for you guys. So that's 20 from Michael today, guys. He's doing some work. He's doing some heavy lifting. And that brings us to 37. So W's in the chat for Michael, showing great support here for the channel and the community and helping me out. And just like that, we are close. We are close to the 50 mark. We now need 13 members to crush the second goal. And he says, more likes or I will not avenge Atsu's family. We're at 109. We could get to 125 likes. I think it's doable. Ray comes in with the triple anus W. Yeah, guys, if you've been enjoying the content, again, we're doing Morning with the Missus tomorrow. Going to be hanging out with the wife. Make sure you tune into that if you get a gifted a channel membership, I should say. And consider becoming a member to gain access to some members' content or to just help out, you know? Really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you for all your support. Handheld 500, PS6 600. This is my prediction. Well, I do think the handheld is going to. I'm gonna maintain this, right? You're gonna hear me repeat this a lot over the next year and a half, but it's because I'm so sure of it, dude. If I'm wrong, I would be surprised. The whole idea is Sony's gonna have a 1-2 punch approach. Actually, that's the wrong analogy. What's the right analogy here? I guess you could say Sony's going to be trying to cover two different bases at the same time, right? I was going to say that, a two-pronged approach. I was trying to think of a more clever analogy, but nothing was coming to me. Kill two birds with one stone. There we go. That's what I'm trying to... that's the one I was looking for, and I'm like, why can't I think of it? That's the most obvious saying. Sony's going to try to kill two birds with one stone. Two Xbots with one stone. No, but really, the home console, the PS6 is going to do well. The question, though, is not whether it's going to do well. The question is... Titus says a fork-tongued approach. A fork-tongue approach. Oh, there it is. There it is. That's the one. Yep. Sony's coming with you with that fork tongue. What did I just say? Guys, what did I just say? My brain's like melting in real time. I just had that thing happen where I said something, but I wasn't sure if I actually said the right thing. And then I started panicking, thinking I said something else, and it sounded really bad. I don't even know. All right, let me continue. I know let me continue. I've been doing my workouts in the morning now, so a lot of energy is going towards that. They're going to do a two-pronged approach. They're going to try to kill two birds with one stone. The question is not whether the PlayStation 6 will be successful or not. The answer to that is yes, it will be. The question is, can it be as successful as the PS4 and the PS5? Can Sony do better with the PlayStation 6 home console? I think the answer to that is not a definitive no, but a very much unlikely. It's unlikely that a PlayStation 6 home console will be able to match the trajectory, even at launch, of the PS4 and the PS5. And so I think Sony is aware of this. I think Sony's also aware that it might be more expensive because of everything that's going on. And, the cost to manufacture might raise the price more than they would like. So I think what the handheld is going to do is, if Sony can bank on a certain number of enthusiast PlayStation players like me and probably a lot of you here, yeah, we'll be there PlayStation 6 day one, bro. Home console. We'll be there. You can count on us. They know that. But for everybody else who's maybe not on board initially, and if Sony can't convince them, well, then what are they going to do? How are they going to make sure that, it's going to look real bad to our investors, and it's going to look like we're going in the wrong direction because now we're going to see this console's not doing as well as the PS4 and the PS5. I think it's, I really think it's the handheld that's going to come in at a cheaper price. And because it's a handheld, because it's different, and it's the first time Sony's done a handheld in years, like a real native handheld, it will count as a PlayStation 6 sale. I think they're going to get a lot of PS5 owners that are like, I don't need a PS6. But you know what? I do need that PlayStation handheld. And that will count as a PlayStation 6 sale in Sony's eyes. And I think that's it right there, man. It's a again, two-pronged approach where if we can't get you on the PS6 home console, we're really hoping we can get you on the PlayStation 6 handheld. And let's face it, how many PlayStation players are not going to buy either? It's a serious question. Like, I mean, how many PlayStation players are going to look at both of these devices and be like, I'm not interested in either? I think Sony's basically just greatly increasing their chances of getting another hardware sale. I think Sony will be okay if you forego the PlayStation 6 at first and choose to go with the handheld. I think Sony would even be okay if you just bought the handheld and that's all you bought. But on the other side of that, Sony also knows that for people like us, we'll buy both. They're going to get, if they release these two devices at the same time, like they know a lot of people are going to double dip. I don't know if I want to use the term double dip because they are two different devices, but you know what I'm saying? They'll get both at one time. I mean, the more I think about it, it's kind of genius from a business perspective. It's actually kind of genius. Like, with that in mind, the PlayStation 6 launch has the potential to be the strongest business-wise for Sony that they've ever had. At least, certainly in terms of dollar sales. But potentially just overall sales. I mean, think about it. Like, think about somebody like me, where it's like, I would want to have the PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 6 handheld day one if they both launch at the same time. Do I count as 2 PlayStation 6 sales? I don't know. This is the approach from a business perspective that I think Sony's taking, where I think they fully understand that the PS6 is going to be a harder sell than the PS5, and certainly the PS4. And they have things working against them. But if they can show off these two pieces of hardware, and the prices aren't crazy, right? It's like if they come out and it's $800, it's over. It's just over. You know, it's like, good luck. If they do as long as they don't do something like that, I think if they can have a strong launch lineup and a strong showcase of games, I think they might, dare I say, the PlayStation 6 launch and launch window could be the most successful in PlayStation history. Dare I say it. I think it could happen. If Xbox can do it with the Series X and S, that was not the same device, but they sold it and counted it as console sold, so PlayStation can do it. Yeah, well, that to me was the biggest kind of surprise with the leaks we got from specifically Moore's Law is Dead. He leaked the APUs, and you know, he had access to internal documentation, and the most interesting thing that I learned from that is, like Sony's positioning this as a PlayStation 6 handheld. Like, it's not separate at all. It's very much a PlayStation 6. Like, that's super interesting. Like, that kind of changes my entire view of what next gen will end up being from a marketing perspective and a messaging perspective. You're tired of the hand holding with handhelds? Can we just be adults and play on big screens? Nah, man. Handhelds for life, Gaming Survivor. I actually don't use handhelds. PlayStation 6 handheld will be the first one I get. If I don't get a Portal before then, it'll be the first one I get in many, many, many years. I bet they do look at that as two different sales. You know, a lot of people will only be able to buy one. I don't know. I mean, you have to think of just the way I'm imagining it in my head. I think Sony's going to have a really on-point presentation. I think they're going to have like a full presentation dedicated to the hardware and then the games. Maybe they could do it all at one time, like a 2-hour fucking PlayStation showcase, where, God, because there's just so many ways they can message it. But essentially what I'm imagining in my head is they're going to show you, here's the PlayStation 6, and it's the home console. They say, but we have another one. And then they unveil the handheld. And you'll have Mark Cerny explaining, like, the PlayStation 6 handheld or portable. That's what they call it. The PlayStation 6 Portable is a PlayStation 6. I don't know. I don't know, man. The one thing I could be totally wrong about here, because I just thought about that. I'm like, can you call it a PlayStation 6 though? Because if you call it a PlayStation 6, that means it has to get every PlayStation 6 game. Right? So I don't know. And I put in my title that Sony's finally winding down PS4 support in 2026. By the way, this was leaked today by Insider Gaming. And Insider Gaming is reporting that internal documentation that's been sent to developers is pretty much letting them know that starting April 2026, certain aspects of the back end, certain features of the back end for PlayStation 4 development are going to be removed. They're going to be sunsetted. And it doesn't mean that developers won't be able to bring games to PS4. It just means they're not going to have as many features available to them, which will likely discourage them from releasing their game on, like, they'll have to go out of their way to release their game on PS4, and they won't have as much support. This is obviously Sony preparing to move on from the PS4. They will still support it, obviously. Like, they're not going to abandon it entirely, or make it so like you can't play on there. And they're not going to do anything extreme, but it's a natural way of things where they're preparing for the PlayStation 6, and it's, it seems like they definitely want to move on. They want people to move on from the PS4. GameStop is clapping back at Gamepass price increase. Oh yeah, Jake. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that. That's kind of crazy. I forgot to mention this earlier. So apparently GameStop is giving like a massive middle finger to Microsoft. Shockingly, it says Microsoft recently increased the price of its Game Pass Ultimate memberships from $20 to $30 a month. In response, major US retailer GameStop has stated on Twitter that it will continue selling Xbox Game Pass Ultimate at the old price in-store and online, sidestepping the increase for now. Yo, that's kind of a big deal. I don't know how they're able to do that, but it seems like GameStop is really trying to use this to their advantage. Shems, you're heading out, man. Appreciate you chilling with us. Hope to catch you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day, bud. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's kind of unexpected from GameStop. Like, is GameStop saying they'll just eat the cost? Rare W GameStop moment. Yeah, it is kind of rare and unexpected. That's pretty ballsy, though. That's pretty ballsy, I have to admit. Because GameStop, is that legal? I mean, I'm assuming it is, because it's all about, they call it the recommended retail price, right? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure, Mr. B. I don't know what the play here is, bro. Like, I appreciate they're doing that. Like, I actually think that's pretty cool, but I don't know what the play is. I don't know. You think they just want to get rid of the stock? It's a publicity stunt? More than likely. I guess, like, the question is, yeah, how long can they... Maybe they're allowed to, though. Because I was, like, thinking about it. If you go in and they have Xbox Game Pass Ultimate cards that are $20 for a month or something, maybe it's, like, one of these things where it's like, well, you're allowed to just sell those for that price, and then once you run out, and the new cards come in, that'll say 30. I don't know. It's kind of strange. GameStop has to sell them refurbished Xbox Series and S's. They need to sell cards with it. That's true, too. Most people buy their subscriptions from Microsoft directly online, so GameStop doesn't really care. Maybe they know nobody's going to be buying them soon. GameStop is 10 steps ahead, bro. They're going to start knocking on your door, handing them out for free. Here's a Game Pass. They're going to announce they're going to that's what they're going to welcome trick-or-treaters on Halloween, and that's what they'll give you. Dude, if they did that, I would make the biggest scene. I would go there. I'd get dressed up. I'd go there. Like, trick-or-treat. Here's your 1 month of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. What is this shit? What is this? I don't want this garbage. BMed says, should I cancel Game Pass? I mean, that's up to you, man. Costco left Xbox. Costco said they're not selling Xbox anything anymore, dude. I'll be honest, Titus, dude, I have no idea why anybody would buy an Xbox. The only reason I could think somebody would buy an Xbox is the controller. That's all I got. I have absolutely no idea. RichRod, if we hit 50 members today, which we're only 13 away, we might do it. Like, we are within reach. If we hit 50 members at the end when I do reps, I'll play both of the world premieres. So, Rich, make sure you harass people in the chat to gift memberships. Or you could gift them yourself, Rich. It's a good console to collect as an ancient relic. No, I didn't lie, RichRod. I didn't lie. I said that yesterday. I said that at some point in the week, we'll probably play it. Rich says, everyone give memberships. I demand it. Well, we still got time, dude. I think there's a good chance we'll hit 50 because we're already at 37. I think we can do it. Get a Series X, then cosplay as John Matrix from Commando. Absolutely. That's the play. That's the play. I should get a world premiere soundbite. I should. Yotei Verdict, haven't played it yet, but I will be. I'm hearing good things. Titus is saying, yup, in the past it was always Game Pass. Now it's nothing, not performance, not library, not anything. This is why I know that they are intentionally killing this version of the Xbox. It's almost like they're trying to, like, shake off the fans. Like, come on, like, stop, go away. We don't want you here anymore, man. And they just, like, won't let go. And they're like, all right, you know what? Fine. $1,200 for the next Xbox. Huh? How about now? And they'll be like, okay. And be like, guys, we're done. We don't want to do this anymore. Leave us alone. I don't think it's that they're trying to go out of business. I think it's just they're trying really hard to transform their business. The transformation is almost complete, but if you think about it, man, like, it's a lot of what they did for the last 10 years that they have to undo now. Because the transformation of Xbox's business is they went from being a console manufacturer with their own storefront and platform and closed ecosystem to now they just want to be a publisher. And I don't know. Like, I don't know that they want to kill Game Pass as much as I think they're just okay. If they're like, listen, if the only way to make Game Pass profitable, like, that's what will kill it, then so be it. Like, I think they're taking the, was it the Rocky 3 approach? If it dies, it dies, you know? If Game Pass dies, it dies. Whatever, bro. But they won't blatantly state it? No, they won't. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to both Sony and Microsoft, like, these things, they Oh, it was Rocky 4. My bad. What did I say? 3? Which one was Rocky 3? Was that with Mr. T? I can't remember, dude. It's been a long time since I've seen the Rocky movies. Cerny bites. Call of Duty won't last forever. Microsoft is banking on something that won't save them in the long run. Okay, Rocky 3 was Mr. T and Hulk Hogan. Okay. Yeah, I got them mixed up there for a second. Classic movies. Rich says, everyone, you have 10 minutes to donate memberships, or when I get home, I'm hitting the lab and making the diss track on the chat. Bro, we can't be having RichRod making a diss track for the chat. Now he's putting pressure on me. Guys, we're going to need those 13 members. Like, very quick. We're going to need them quick. Wait, Rich, I got to ask. Is it 1 or 2 tracks, 2 songs you made? Michael, you're saying that series of movies is the greatest love story ever told. I live alone, I train alone. It's 2. All right. All right. Maybe I can make it easier. If we can hit 42 members, I'll play 1 RichRod track. And then if we hit the 50, I'll play the second. Because he's saying 10 minutes. Well, why are you putting a timer on it, though? You got to leave or something? If we hit 42, that's 5 memberships. That's 5 more. If we do that, I'll play the first one. And then if we hit the 50, I'll play the second and do reps. How does RichRod send these? He just puts them under my posts on Twitter. Still have to listen to Bury the Light. Yeah, I haven't heard that one yet. Irfan. 1 month of PS Plus Premium is $18. Yotei has some good Pro improvements. I've been hearing that, yeah. I'm excited to see what it looks like on the Pro. I mean, it's a Sony first party. I imagine it's going to look amazing. Sorry, I don't keep getting these weird notifications, dude. Ray Tracing Pro mode looks great. Yeah, I'm going to play it in the Pro mode. So I'll be playing it at 60 FPS with Ray Tracing, and it'll be using PSSR, so it'll look pretty much like native 4K or close to native 4K, something along those lines. And Smurf for the win, bro. Out of literally nowhere. Smurf, I haven't seen you drop memberships in a long time, bro. And he's like, you know what? I got to hear the RichRod. He did it for Rich. He dropped 10 memberships. 10 memberships and brings us up to 47 members. So, guys, just like that, we are 3 away. 3 away. Smurf, bro, thank you so much, man.
I'm no hero.
Oh.
Never was.
That one was supposed to be for
Never
4
will be.
Boss, you're not getting treats again, dude. You're not getting treats again. Corey's going to be pissed. He's like, you gave him my soundbite. He says, you guys have 3 minutes. Well, like I promised, I'll play 1. I told you if we hit 42, I'll play 1. And guys, while I'm playing that, we only need 3 more. We hit 50, we could do the second one, and we could do reps. Rich, do you have a preference on which one I play first, though? There's Suck It From the Back. Bro, what? Okay, Rich, hold on, though, man. Hold on. Oh, yeah, Titus. Yeah, dude, you got to resend that one to me, bro. And I'll play it. I forgot that you sent that to me a long time ago. I guess I just got more comfortable over time, Titus, where I'm like, screw it, I'll just play this stuff. You made like a, do not play that. Yeah, that was a good one. It was like a MBG Army one or something. I forgot about that. That was a while ago. Okay, so Game Pass rate hike. And then Suck It From the Back. Dude, I'm playing the Game Pass one, man. I don't want to know. Guys, maybe we don't hit 50 members, so I don't have to play that.
MBG, stop playing and make RichRod into RichMod. Xbox, listen up! Suck it from the back, the Game Pass rate hike. Suck it from the back, and a lifetime of sadness. Suck it from the back, don't deserve to game anymore. Suck it from the back, suck it from the back. Suck it from the back, suck it from the back, suck it from the back. Suck it from the back. Game Pass rate hike, man, I think they deserve it. Xbox fanboys think it's great, don't they? Sure did. Now they talking about a raise and wanna call it corporate. When the same news hits PlayStation, it gets ignored. Then it's all about it makes sense, like raise is perfect. It was so obvious. Xbox gets a Game Pass tax. All the ponies and Xbox suck it from the back. 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 The Game Pass rate hike. Suck it from the back. And a lifetime of sadness. Suck it from the back. Don't deserve to game anymore. Suck it from the back. 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 No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back. No more gaming. Colton just sucking each other from the back.
Okay. Fucking A, man. Rich. That was the one not called Suck It From the Back. Isley, I'm sorry. I forgot to thank you for the 5 memberships. Oh my God, bro. Okay, so my review of that one, Rich. Yeah, I'm like, wrap it up, man. Oh my God. My review of that one, Rich. The sound, the AI musicianship, probably some of the best we've heard so far. The lyrics, bro. I told you, do not put the names of other influencers and content creators in these songs, bro. I do not condone this. Suck it from the back merch. Oh my God. Oh my God. That is So I just need to get something straight here though, Rich. No, those names could not be anybody, Rich. Now I'm like terrified to play the AI program. Suno had a major update a week back. It sounded incredible. Isley, by the way, I'm sorry. I'm so flustered. Thank you for the 5 memberships. That actually did bring us to 52. And so I have to ask Rich, don't lie. Don't lie. I'll know if you're lying. How concerned should I be? How concerned should I be? Where's this one? So that one that we just played was called Gamepass Rate Hike. The other one is called Suck It From the Back. Yeah, I should be extra concerned. That was like an ambush, bro. Like I was having boss dance and stuff, and then I heard the lyrics, and I'm like, oh God. It's similar but less evil. Different versions, more rock, I think. You say similar but less evil. What does that mean?
Hey, yo, MBJ! Stop playing. Make RichRod into Rich Mod.
These better not be the same lyrics. Is that like Slipknot?
You deserve it, suck it from the back. 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 You deserve the back. Xbox gamers raising the rates. The ignorant deserve the fate. Ignorant, stupid, lazy, rude pigs, dirtbags, pricks, and nudes. They don't deserve to game anymore. Lifelong sadness, lifelong whore. You deserve it. Suck it from the back. 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 You deserve it. For life. For life. For life. For
Fortnite.
You deserve it. Suck it from the back. 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 You deserve it.
Yo, okay, that one went fucking hard, bro. That one was good. It was a little bit less. I don't know. He said it was less evil. It sounds good. Yeah, dude. That's like got some Slipknot sound going on there. I need RichRod to cook up a song. And I don't know if it lets you. I'm assuming it lets you type like certain bands in. Kublai Khan, TX. Now that you want some heavy shit, now that's gonna be heavy. It's gonna be some fucking caveman metal, bro. Oh yeah, I gotta do. Yeah, I'll have to do reps at the end of the stream too. Well, guys, thank you for the member train. Thank you for getting us to 52 members. That first song was fucking wild. RichRod just, I don't know. He just decided, suck it from the back is I guess that's the new thing now. I don't. Who was that song about specifically? So about Ghost of Yotei, guys. Oh, dude. Mrs. MBG came in here while that song was playing and just looked at me like, everything good? Everything all right? Where do we go from here now, though? Like, I don't know where to go from this point. Is my mic volume low? I wonder if it, Oh, I'm sorry I have no idea why it was that low. Probably from me moving the mic around. I'm sorry about that. It scared Boss off. Yeah, he's like, you know what, man? I don't even want treats now. He's like, I'm good. I don't even want treats. Bury the light with reps. Is Bury the Light, is that a band or a song? Let me see. It sounds familiar. Bury the Light. Oh, it's a song from Devil May Cry 5. It's DMC 5. What's weird is there's this video by a YouTuber named Zero saying Bury the Light got deleted. I noticed the other day that if you go on YouTube and search up the Bury the Light theme, Virgil's theme, it doesn't show up. And when I found out about this, it made me really upset. It was on track to be the most viewed video game song ever. It had close to 160 million views. Is it not here anymore? That video I just read to you the description of has like over 270,000 views. The original video had 150 million views. YouTube deleted it. Oh. Because I see a couple of other versions popping up, but I don't know if they're like the same or not. Rich is like, okay, I'm home now. I'm going to hit the studio soon. The original version is up. All right. I'll check it out when we go to do reps a little bit later on. Am I close to wrapping up or am I going to go for a little bit? I'll probably go for a little bit longer. I mean, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I thought I would have more to say about Ghost of Yotei, but it turns out because I haven't played it yet, I guess I got to play it before I can really talk extensively about it. A couple of you guys have come in today and told me what your experience has been like so far. And everybody that's given their thoughts on it so far are saying it's pretty good or really good. I haven't seen anything negative yet. Yeah, Jake, I see what you sent me. It's been an honor. Sucker Punch's Brian Fleming and lead Erica Ishii reflect on Ghost of Yotei. The IGN video has more dislikes than likes. Oh, damn. I mean, I guess that's not that surprising. Wait, when did that statue of Boss appear? Everybody thinks it's a statue. That's so funny. I guess I picked the perfect image. It's just a picture of Boss. There's something about this picture of Boss that's so good, though. Like, it does look more like a statue. It's also, I guess, the way he's standing up. It's a very high definition image of Boss. Got that 12K image. I had him taxidermied, bro. Am I waiting on the physical copy? Indeed, I am. Look at Dreamwalker's tweet. Who's Dreamwalker? Let me see. Um, 5,671 PS5 ratings, 1,662 more reviews in 4 hours. It's sitting at a 4.9. So basically 5 stars. Damn, dude. I am curious to see how well Ghost of Yotei sells. It seems like it's doing well. It does. It seems like it's off to a strong start, I guess is what I'll say. Don't mute myself with the reps. MBG, is it a physical picture or an overlay? It's just an overlay. Like, I could move it around if I wanted. I should have just messed with you guys and said it's a statue, though. Yeah, I saw that. PlayStation Studios are posting some posters, some artwork celebrating Ghost of Yotei's launch. I always like when they do that. It's pretty cool. If the budget rumors are to be believed, Yotei is guaranteed to be profitable. Yeah, I think it would have to have like a cataclysmic launch, like a cataclysmically bad launch to not be profitable. I mean, keep in mind, like, Ghost of Tsushima has sold 13 million copies since it launched. Of course, the bulk of those units sold were within the first year or two, but that's crazy good. Like, that's really, really good. I mean, there are like third-party AAA games that are available on all platforms that don't even have a dream of hitting 10 million, let alone 13 million sold. So for me, the question with Yotei is if it can hit 10 million in like a year or two. I don't know if it'll be able to sell as well as Tsushima, because Tsushima did have a couple of things boosting it. It was like the swan song game for the PS5. It got, I think, a little bit of an extra boost due to what was going on with The Last of Us Part 2 at the time. And I think it was just a little bit more, I don't know, it just had a little bit more going for it. But what I can say is everything I'm seeing about Ghost of Yotei so far, it seems like it is off to a strong start. You think it'll have a long tail? Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that. Your copy of Yotei is downloading now, Michael. Did you get it physically? Yeah, that's kind of ironic, Tarnished, in a sense. See something here. Oh yeah, I saw the God of War artwork for Yotei is pretty cool. Oh, the Last of Us artwork's pretty cool too. It's Ellie and Atsu playing. Well, Ellie's playing the guitar and Atsu's playing the. What's it called? I forget the name of the instrument. That one's pretty cool. Oh, Saros. That's so funny. The Saros artwork is funny. See if I can bring this one up. There's something specific I like about this one. Not sure if it's gonna let. Yeah, that's annoying. Won't let me save it and bring it up. I don't know if you guys saw the artwork that they put out for Saros, but Atsu is holding a gun, but she's holding it like upside down, like she would like a sword or some shit. It's pretty funny. That's cool. I always like to see the PlayStation Studios doing that. It's good camaraderie. Red Bull? Oh, they did a Red Bull animation. No way. Well, I guess... Huh. A Red Bull animation. Fire Sprite. Excuse me. Team Asobi congratulated them. Fire Sprite. Pretty much every PlayStation studio came out. Sony Bend, Media Molecule, Nixus, Gorilla. Yeah, I mean, the hype is pretty real, man. It's pretty real. It's strong. Strong excitement. Let me check on something here. All right. Yeah, man. I mean, I was just kind of perusing a little bit and seeing what the excitement level's looking like, at least on Twitter. It's looking pretty good. And we have Verco. I'm not even going to try to pronounce your last name. Verco O is what I'll call you. Hopefully I'm even saying your first name correctly. Thank you so much, buddy, for becoming a channel member. That's, I think, the second person today that it looks like it's their first time becoming a member, and they just decided to do it on their own. Sounds like a supervillain name. Verco, he's a supervillain. He's coming in. Thank you for that, man. So he's keeping the member train going. He brings us up to 53. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. It's like I will continue to say, as long as it's true, those of you who are showing direct support, you make it so I can continue to do what I do here. I'm very grateful to be able to do this as well. It's an honor and a privilege. So thank you. Michael Lynch is saying with the TLR chat, MBG, I answered you. Wait, let me see. I'm sorry, Michael. I asked a question and then you did get it physically. Good shit. Good shit, Michael. Do you have I'm going to ask a second question. Do you have a big physical collection? Or do you just kind of like pick and choose a couple games throughout the year that you buy physically? I know some people still do that. It's a Finnish name. Yeah, I'm sorry. I would try to pronounce your last name, but I'm just going to wreck it, you know. It's a cool name, though. If you want to listen to something different to RichRod's Heavy Metal. Gaming Survivor, did you make this? Gaming Survivor, there ain't no way, bro. There ain't no way. Oh, dude, I don't know. Yo, Gaming Survivor might be about to one-up RichRod, because if this is as good as I think it's going to be, you're saying it's, but it depends on it. When you say it's tame, it's clearly not it's not unhinged, but it's not unhinged, but
Experts hurt themselves today, felt the sting they couldn't delay. Gamepass climbs like a ghostly tide. While it's bleed, they hold their breath, whispers of the coming death. Price increases can't be real, broken hearts too numb to heal. Oh, the cost, the cruel reveal, what's left to feel.
It's just sad, man.
Cold in shaking hands, dreams of bargains turn to sand. Digital worlds now out of reach, what's left to feel? Controllers cold in shaking hands, dreams of bargains turn to sand. Digital worlds now out of reach. Remember when the games were free, the simple joy for you and me. Now the cost, it cuts so deep, a debt that's bound to keep. Price increases can't be real, broken hearts too numb to heal. Oh, the cost, the cruel reveal, what's left to feel? What's left to feel?
When the games were free, bro. When the games were free. Right in the fills. Dude. Oh, man. Gaming Survivor, that was incredible. I was laughing so hard because the title is Xbots Hurt Themselves Today. Oh, what the hell is playing right now? That wasn't yours. That was something else. I was like, bro, don't tell me this is like Johnny Cash. Or 9 Inch Nails. Michael, I'm so sorry, bro. You can't blame me for getting distracted by that, though. Michael, you're saying, MBG, I traded in 3 games today at Gamestop for it. I only paid $15 for Yotei. Oh, okay. Not bad. Not $15 for a $70 game. Jeez. So you're not necessarily a collector. You like to buy the games physically and then resell, kind of like return them or trade them in. Well, not return them, but yeah, trade them in or resell them. Not a bad tactic. I mean, that's another advantage. That's like a major advantage of physical games, dude. Truthfully, is like you can always sell them, get a bit of a return, you know, put it towards other future games you want to buy. You trade them in when you're finished with them. MBG, I just want to say Ghost is peak. It's peak. I appreciate that song, by the way, Gaming Survivor. Sometimes we need a little, you know, we need something a little bit more calm, a little bit more tame, a little bit more sad, perhaps. I do have a question, though. I don't know. Maybe I don't want to know how the sausage is made here. I was going to ask, like, how much of this is, like, you have to actually type in the lyrics yourself versus it just comes up with it. Now waiting for Birdie Light. Yeah, I'll get to it. Irfan, I am afraid that's going to be copyrighted, though, which isn't a problem, but I will have to cut it out. So the hope is that if it is copyrighted, I do it at the end, so that way it's not a problem if I have to cut it out. The Ray Tracing Pro mode goes insane. That's the mode I want to see. Yeah, I am excited for that. I'm very excited for that. I was surprised when they said that this game has ray tracing. I wasn't expecting that. They didn't mention anything prior to just putting the game out. Being like, here you go. You can do both, MBG. Titus has high praise. Imagine online game stores allowing you to auction your digital game license. That would be super interesting if they did that, but I don't think they would ever allow that. Even Steam doesn't do something like that, right? There's like too many loopholes, potentially. It sounds complicated. Irfan, you're saying the hot springs in Yotei are pleasant. Pleasant, you say? They are pleasant, MBG. Quite pleasant indeed. I saw Oblivion Remastered is getting a physical copy. I like to see that. I like to see digital games, even if it's a little bit later, getting physical copies. I remember like Alan Wake 2 didn't get a physical copy, but then it finally did, and it's like, okay. I wonder if Forza Horizon 5 is going to get a physical copy, and Days Gone. These were two games that came out in spring that I was like, you guys serious right now? I saw that, Gothmog. I actually saw that live. Yeah. I just randomly was scrolling on my phone, and I was like, oh, this guy's going to break a record dropping in. It was like a Red Bull sponsored thing, and he dropped in on the big... It was like the ramp was basically the size of a skyscraper. And I'm like, oh, well, this guy might die. So I guess I'll watch, you know? But he did it. I think he did it first try. There's a YouTube rage bait video uploaded yesterday saying MK World is dead, but in reality it has the highest player count of all the games on Switch 2. It was a government building. Nice. You're finally going to play Alan Wake 2, Titus. It's a really good game. I hope you enjoy it. I think I enjoyed that game more than I realized. That's like one of those games where as time goes on, when I think back on it, I'm like, damn, that was really fucking good. Like, that game was really good. I can't remember. Did it get DLC? I think it did get DLC, right? I don't think I played that. You like that effect, Gothmog? Yeah, some say it maybe looks like mold. Yeah, Alan Wake, it messes with your head. The Switch 2 rage bait is definitely insane. It is. It really is. Like, I'm not saying there isn't things to criticize, but it's one of these things where it's overwhelming. Where I'm like, did it, I don't know. There's just like too much of it. All right, let me see. We'll go for a little bit longer.
World premiere from my new female artist who I just signed. World premiere. Inspired by Gaming Survivor. And Bridge. Not a diss song.
Uh-oh. Dude, that's exactly my thought. Oh, no. Oh, no. Rich, I ponder what this song could be about. It's titled Xbox is officially 6 feet under. This is what my channel is going to turn into, bro. People just making Xbox diss tracks.
A plastic tomb, a silent grave, dreams of pixels they couldn't save. The price went high, the hearts went low. A world of games turned into woe. They reached too far, they broke the chain. Now echoes whisper their own pain. Xbox
Almost shed a couple tears on that one, Rich. Damn. That one was a tearjerker. I'm like literally sitting here thinking back to like all my Xbox memories being like, why? It could have been the best. It could have been great. Was that from OD? You know, Kojima's gonna be he's gonna become inspired by this song. He's gonna come across it randomly. It's his new inspiration. God damn. If this was a real artist, Kojima would be asking to scan her feet. Oh Lord. When you know you've been streaming for too long. Isn't the today's Ghost of Yotei launch day, isn't today the beta for Call of Duty as well? Did anybody play that yet? I saw a little bit of footage from Black Ops 7 from the event, and man, it looks awful, dude. I'm gonna be honest, it just looks not good. Call of Duty, I turned my phone off. Black Ops 7 brain rot. RIP Xbox hardware, high Microsoft gaming publisher. Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Damn. You know, I just gotta say the contrast between the first RichRod song and the second is wild. It's wild. You know, it's like you gotta get the anger out first before the tears start flowing. We saw people getting peak sniped at the COD event. I saw something like that. I saw like a clip trending. You just like shoot people through walls. Like you just like literally see them through the wall and then just shoot them through it. Well, yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy some of Black Ops 6, certainly, but I think Battlefield's got it, man. I think Battlefield's got it this year. And maybe years after, I'm not sure. All right. Well, I think we pretty much, that might be it. Hold on, though. Give me one sec, guys. I think we'll wrap this up. I do got to get the reps in, though. And I'll play that song, Irfin. You just remember people swearing on their mothers that micro slop was going to save Call of Duty. Look where we are now. Yeah, I tried to tell people, I'm like, look, man, I guess this is the last thing I'll say on the matter for now. Microsoft couldn't even save their own franchise with Halo. You know? And I think that, you know, the whole idea was, who cares? Call of Duty is going to be in Game Pass. And it's like, guys, you're losing the forest for the trees. If Microsoft is solely responsible for Call of Duty, you know, if Microsoft is solely responsible for Call of Duty and they couldn't even save their own first-person shooter franchise, if things start to go wrong with Call of Duty and they're the owner, and I think, you know, people also completely overlooked, and I know Bobby Kotick, nobody likes him, but when he was at the Activision Blizzard trial, he basically was saying like he would never put Call of Duty in Game Pass, and he doesn't know why Microsoft is going to. You know, he made that pretty clear. And I'm like, that should probably tell you something, you know? But you think the consensus is the PS5 Pro is beginning to take a positive turn? I'm not lying. Many people are appreciating in light of hardware prices post tariffs. LOL. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, there have been a couple of you know, a couple of games that have not been taking proper advantage of the PS5 Pro, but there have been plenty of games that have. And the games that are doing it well, like Ghost of Yotei and Battlefield 6, I mean, it's like, hell yeah, man. I love to see the hardware, the extra horsepower that the Pro offers. I love to see it taken advantage of. And we need more of that. All right, so we're going to get some reps in, guys. Before I do that, though, I will, I'm going to try to start doing my outro before I do the reps, because a lot of times I'm like winded after doing the reps and then I like can't do the outro properly. So I'll do the outro now. We'll play the song, do some reps. What time am I doing a stream with my wife tomorrow? We're going to be doing Morning with the Missus. I'm aiming for 10 a.m. Eastern time. So 10 a.m. But if for some reason I'm running behind, I might have to delay it by an hour. But I'm shooting for 10 a.m. All right? You have a new hip-hop artist? I don't know, Rich. We might have to save this one. I played like 3 of yours, bro. Rich, I played 3 damn songs. How many more songs do you expect me to play? Let's see. No Gamepass, no class. It's only a minute.
Yeah. One time to know. Yo. Xbox crew, y'all the reason it's a joke now. Wallet's empty, Game Pass broke now. Tried to flex, but y'all played yourselves. Put the crown on clowns, now the game's on the shelves. Halo fell harder than a drunk off a bar stool. Used to be kings, now you're playing with cartoon fools. Trashing the catalog, fans stay blind. Microsoft got y'all trapped, tied to the grind. Y'all fed the beast, now the beast bit back. Paying for garbage, pockets light, pitch black. PlayStation laughing, sipping tea so fine. No comp left, just your tears with no spine. No Game Pass, no Clash, I did this. Raise the price, now you're stuck, what a big miss. No games, no shame, just pure pain. Xbox fans, y'all the reason for the rain. Y'all hyped up garbage, made the bar so low. Microsoft said cool, serve you games so slow. Red ring vibes, it's a cycle of abuse. Paid for mediocrity, what's the excuse? Exclusive this, exclusive that, you scream. But exclusives came and went like a bad dream. Game Pass fat, now it's eating your dough. Netflix for games, nah, that plan's too slow.
Dude, that was actually really fucking good. Irvin, don't worry. I got you, bro. I got you. That was good. I like that one. That was legit. I get a fucking cramp, though. Damn. I gotta eat a banana. Guys, I think I'm just gonna eat a banana instead of reps. What do you think? Irvin, I'm just gonna eat a banana while I listen to this song. Dude, expand this one. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, I like that one. That's a vibe. Rich, we need more of that. That was good. All right, and Irfan, the only question I have for Buried the Light, I have a video here. It's 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Does that sound right? Is that the right one? I'm assuming it is. Y'all are some RichRod enablers. I was feeling that one. Yeah, that was good. Is this the one? Wait, that's not it? I don't know what that... Yeah, I've never heard this song before. Oh, let me see. I had to pause it. You're saying Capcom might not like this song being played. Why do you say that? Should I be concerned? Did I make a mistake? Did her friend get me in trouble? Virko, thank you, buddy. You too. Don't forget to play Garrett's diss song tomorrow. Yeah, he did approve it. He did approve it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a... It was good, yeah. It's a long song. It was like 10 minutes. It sounds like a remix of Devil Trigger from DMC5. It is a song from DMC5. I mean, I'm expecting it to get a copyright. Hopefully nothing serious, though. It says, Bury the Light, Virgil's battle theme from Devil May Cry 5. But I may just have to cut that part out if it gets a copyright. You're not into rock and metal anymore, but Bury the Light and Teutonic Terror are the only ones I still listen to. Yeah, they're pretty good. I like that song. The other one, too. Teutonic Terror. That was nice. But, all right, guys. That's going to wrap up today's stream. Still waiting on my copy of Ghost. But when it gets here, I'm going to be playing it. You got my song for free, MEG. New outro. Gaming Star. Yeah, we'll play that on occasion when need be. When the time is right. The time was definitely right, man. There's a GTA 6 Pro bundle. Wait, hold on. What? Reliable D-Labs user Bill Bilkoon, who has an impeccable track record, reports that Sony's preparing to bundle the revised PS5 Pro model, which was also leaked recently with a free copy of EA Sports FC 26 in Europe. Bill Bilkoon reckons that a GTA 6 PS5 Pro bundle is highly likely. Okay. So he's not leaking it yet, but he's saying that they're probably going to. I would agree. That'll be a big one. Yeah. All right, guys. That does it. Check out the bands The Haunted and The Haste. The Haunted and The Haste. I'm trying to remember that. Haunted and The Haste. It's an interesting name. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Thank you for all the support. We hit 53 members. I really, really appreciate that, guys. And if you dropped any super chats or direct donations, we're completely fan funded. I can only do what I do here on the channel because of you guys and because you make it possible. I did put out a news video earlier. You can go check that out if you missed it. When my copy of Ghost of Yotei comes, I'm going to be playing it later. And we are doing Morning with the Missus tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll put that out. And I hope we can do a regular stream tomorrow as well after that. But we'll figure it out as we go along. But all right, guys, just hit the like button on your way out. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, night, or evening. And I will catch you in the next one. So till then, take care, everyone. And remember, Xbox sucks. And I wonder why, man.